you can see the cars moving away. We're getting set for a green flag here in a couple of laps. Darlington Raceway is 1.366 miles in length. The front stretch and the back stretch are both 1,228 feet. There's a little bit of difference in the banking. In 1 and 2, they're banked at 25 degrees. 3 and 4 are banked at 23 degrees.
Looks pretty simple, right?
Wrong.
Wrong.
The pole speed 167.379 by John Andretti. The race record is 137.9. They'll be pitting between laps 58 and 68, somewhere in that window. And of course, the purse exceeds more than $1 million.
Wow. Ned, they used to race for about 100,000 when you were running here, didn't
That's
they?
right. Yep, won the 65 race and got $22,000, which was big back then.
The 46th annual Mountain Dew Southern 500 lineup looks like this. John Andretti in the Kmart Little Caesars Ford on the pole, and Ricky Rudd in the Tide Ford alongside.
Andretti's very first pole in his career.
And as a matter of fact, he ran something like 50-some IndyCar races. Never had a pole. His first, of course, in stock car racing. Third row is Jeff Gordon. Of course, the points leader, but Sterling Marlin is lined up right beside him in the third row. Those two first and second in points.
Great run for Lake Speed and also Ward Burton.
In row 5, we find Jeff Bodine and Hut Strickland.
Back in the 6th row, it's Jimmy Spencer. Dale Jarrett has lined up on the outside of row number 6. There goes the field off of corner number 2 down the backstretch once again as you take a look at the rest of the starting lineup.
And you see the pace car, they're leading the top first 20 cars. There's another pace car leading the second 20 cars. Now is when the drivers adjust their tachometers to pit road speed.
Looking now at the second 20, you saw Rusty Wallace there lined up in 21st. Bill Elliott, who won this race last year, is in the 12th row.
Jeff Burton announced his new deal for next year this week. Jeremy Mayfield has been running so good here lately.
A lot of good cars pitting on the backstretch. And Morgan Shepherd had to go to the rear of the field.
That's
He
what they're
missed the
telling us.
driver's
How
meeting.
about that? Well, that's not a good way to start this long, grueling event from the back row, but there is the 21 Citgo Ford lined up at the back. Look at Mark Martin all the way back in the 18th row for the start of this race. Here are the 19th row occupants, Todd Bodine and Ken Schrader, and now we get back to those who had to take provisionals to get into the field, including Rick Mast, Kyle Petty, and the last row consists of Rich Bickle and Ed Barrier in his first NASCAR Winston Cup race. Well, we got all kinds of in-cars. Of course, we have the simulcast coverage on ESPN2 for you with Strictly In-Car. This is Dale Earnhardt. Here is Mark Martin.
You know, Rusty Wallace just a moment ago while you shuffling for your papers. There's Ricky Rudd.
We'll go through them quickly here, but boy, with this many in-car cameras, we should have this thing covered from all angles, all perspectives. There's Morgan Shepherd back in the last row.
And I'm told that was driver's introduction, not the meeting that Morgan Shepherd did.
I thought I saw him at the driver's meeting. That's why I was a little bit confused. But you got to go out for the driver introduction, too.
Everybody here is ready, are you? Let's get it going. The Southern 500 is on.
Of the 42 that just would love to win the Southern 500. Forget the money. Now want to take that trophy home for the Southern 500.
One of the most prestigious races of all. John Andretti led the first lap, but Ricky Rudd is there to take over.
And Rudd goes high.
Man, it's very slick up there in the early going of the race. There's a lot of sand up there that makes it very slippery. And Rudd was lucky to control the car through the first and second turns as the 31 car of Greg Sachs makes a move on Darrell Waltrip.
And Rusty Wallace trying to get alongside Darrell, and he does it.
Waltrip has won this at this event, won this at this racetrack 5 different occasions.
And Darrell Waltrip is one of those drivers who will exercise the ultimate impatience. And he's not going to fight anybody real hard right now. Looks like Jeff Gordon's trying to fight Dick Trickle for the 4th position, but he couldn't quite do it there.
Let's look. Here's Earnhardt. Throws up right on the back bumper of Andretti. And let me tell you right now, while the Rudd and Andretti are running 1-2, Peter Gile, Pro Motor in Mooresville, builds both these engines, both the 10 and 37 car, are built by Peter and his folks. They do a terrific job.
Once again, Jeff Gordon looking to the inside of Trickle, trying to take over the 4 spot, but made no attempt. Now we have Dale Earnhardt pulling to the inside, but he is a couple of car lengths behind John Andretti as the rest of the field moves through turn 2 and onto the backstretch. The leaders are up here in the 3rd and 4th turns. It's Ricky Rudd showing the way with Andretti second, then Earnhardt, Trickle, and Gordon.
Nothing there this time, unless Andretti goes very high.
42-40 car of Rich Bickle and Morgan Shepherd are moving past Kyle Petty. That's the perspective from the roof cam of Morgan Shepherd. Here's Dave Marcus, Jeremy Mayfield, and Jeff Burton along with Bill Elliott.
Marcus in the yellow number 71, Mayfield in the red number 98. And the number 8 car, of course, is Jeff Burton.
He announced this week that he'd be driving a 3rd Jack Roush car this week.
And they're 2 abreast going into the park. Dave Marcus, Ken Schrader.
Oh, man, look at him coming through here.
But we may be lucky and not see very much bent sheet metal. That looked like anybody suffered a great deal of damage, except perhaps for Ken Schrader, whose left rear is pretty well banged up.
I mean, how you going to put gas in the car? You'd have to have a Dixie straw to put gas in the back of that car.
And he's shredding a tire as he comes down the straightaway and tearing the bodywork off.
The tire's just tearing the right rear quarter off the car. Man, oh man, poor Schrader.
Believe that guy's luck.
I'm telling you, if he didn't have bad luck, he'd have no luck at all. Here comes the field down slowly. They're coming down slowly simply because there's a tremendous amount of debris here on the front stretch where that right rear corner panel of Ken Schrader was disintegrated as the tire blew.
And then we see the debris laying on the front stretch. Let's watch the replay and see what happens. Derek Cope and Mike Wallace try to go through the corner side by side. Cope spins the main and tail car, and there Schrader comes in, spins, backs up. Todd Bodine barely got by, and Schrader makes contact with the wall. And we see Mark Martin just getting through. I think the 29 car ran in the back of someone.
And looked like Loy Allen ran into the back of someone also. Here's another angle.
Well, Ted Musgrave goes by Mike Wallace in the 90 car, and Derek Cope tried to follow him through and got a little bit loose, spins around. Here comes Schrader spinning around, and then everybody else jamming up back there, trying to get slowed down so they'll know which direction to go. And it looks like Morgan Shepherd got tapped there by
Loy
Allen in the car number 19.
So Schrader's car is pretty well beat up as he came around turn number 4 on the straightaway. Watch the tire shred and tear off the bodywork.
This is just incredible. Watch this quarter panel just rip off. That is incredible.
Now from Morgan Shepherd's roof cam, we'll see how it occurred.
We heard the tires on Morgan's cars squeaking. That's when he probably got hit in the back by Loy Allen. And that was it looked like Todd Bodine ran in the back of Schrader and caused him to spin.
That's correct. 8 laps have been completed. We are under caution. A multi-car tangle up in turn number 3 has damaged the car of Ken Schrader and others. We'll be back with Rudd leading in a moment. Welcome to Darlington Raceway in South Carolina. We just began the Southern 500 here on Race Day America. We had a crash up in turn number 3, and we'll take a look at what happened from Mark Martin's roof cam. And from Loy Allen's perspective.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Lower down, stay up high, slow it down. clear there. Go ahead and go where you want. Did you hit him?
I hit Morgan. I needed to go to the bottom on that, Dave.
There's the driver questioning the spotter's instructions.
Here it is once again. That's Derek Cope getting sideways. Todd Bodine hits Ken Schrader in the back, sending him up the banking, and then everybody on the brakes.
And Lloyd's right. There's certainly nowhere to go up high that time. Here's Bill Weber with a 25 car.
Well, Ken Schrader's on his way back in again. This will be his fourth stop. He's got a real long day ahead of him. Heavy sheet metal damage to the rear of the car. They've torn away the rear bumper. They've put a ton of racing tape on here. They banged away with a sledgehammer so they'd be able to fuel the car. This is the first time they've tried to put gas back in it. So Ken Schrader's day will be long and hot here at Darlington. Also in back here, Morgan Shepherd's been in. He's got some rear sheet metal damage. Derek Cope made a stop. Roy Allen at Barrier's been in twice. The 75 car of Todd Bodine has been in. The hood has been up on that. And Steve Grissom has stopped for fuel. That's what's going on the backstretch. Let's go forward to Jerry Punch.
Well, for the second week in a row, we're seeing someone get it in the face with water. What happened to Ricky Rudd a moment ago was when he got in the car to start the race, they had a cool box behind his seat with a hose that runs to his helmet. Well, they had condensation in the hose. He hooked the hose to his helmet but took the green flag. He flipped the fan on. As the fan began to blow cool air into his helmet, it blew water. It filled his helmet with ice cold water going into turn one on the green flag lap. You talk about a surprise for Ricky Rudd. It's a wonder he held on to the race car. He has since unhooked the hose, drained the water out onto the floorboard, and rehooked the hose back up, but somewhat of a surprise for Rudd.
About 300 laps, he'll be trying to do that again. How did that happen?
Yeah.
That's quite a story. All right, we're set to go green once again. How long a day is it going to be for Ken Schrader riding around out there getting points?
They ought to make prisoners do that. I mean, riding around there with just nothing to gain except a few points.
Here's the green. We're back to racing. Rudd, Andretti, Earnhardt, Trickle, Gordon, Burton, Ward, Marlin, and Lake Speed up front.
That's Strickland back there behind Lake Speed. Good run for the Quaker State car. Here goes Earnhardt. Down and down, but he can't get underneath Andretti.
He has let John know on several occasions already that he is back there, but has made no attempt to make the pass. Now Dick Trickle comes right up on the back bumper of Earnhardt.
Well, if anybody just breathes, we saw Dale Jarrett get on the inside of Jeff Bodine there, taking over the 10th position.
There's Schrader, slow on the apron of the racetrack. Evidently the car just won't run, or he's not handling very well.
The 17 car of Darrell Walter, by the way, is going to the rear. Here comes Rich Bickle.
Bring about 5 more inside.
Spotter letting him know that cars are passing
there.
inside.
Ooh, Mark almost got in the side of Darrell
Clear.
Walter. Mark Martin takes the spot away. There's Rick Mast trying his best and getting on the inside of Darrell Walter. And here comes Morgan blowing by.
Darrell Walter lost 15 positions in one lap.
Still there, still there.
Continues to
Clear.
lose positions.
And finally, Earnhardt is alongside Andretti and takes over that second spot. Now let's see if he can catch Rudd. Here's Gordon trying to get by Dick Trickle and someone on the outside of Sterling. Who is that?
That is Ward Burton.
Oh, man, Ward, he must be a rookie.
Well, Ward passed Sterling on the second lap of this race, and now Sterling trying to get the position back.
They go in there to him.
And there's real fast behind.
Presley almost spun, but saved it. No, it's Hunt Strickland, I'm sorry. Oh, man, was that a nice job.
The tires were smoking. I said they're spinning, but they didn't. How did they do that?
I don't know.
Wow, nice job by Hunt.
When the hole opens up, you want to try to go for it, but boy, this time of the race has got so far to go that you don't want to get over anxious.
Well, you're right, Ned. I'm just a little surprised at some of the moves that we've seen already here in the first 16 laps. We've got 367 total, and with the reputation this place carries, it seems like drivers would be a little more patient, but not so. Maybe they're still remembering Bristol last Saturday night.
And we see Bill Elliott on the inside of Brett Bodine trying to take that spot away. Musgrave's going to try to follow him. Man, it's so close in that corner. The groove is so narrow. When they get side by side, I just hold my breath.
And here comes Dave Marcus. He has a run going. He'll push Musgrave right on by. And when I say push in the draft, that helped Musgrave a little bit there. And Dave makes the pass. Here comes Bobby Hillen in the car number 77. Once Brett Bodine got up there on that outside, they just went right on by. Now he gets back in line. And Mark Martin caught up in a big bunch of traffic there.
Looking back from Mark Martin's car. And here's Dale Jarrett taking the position away from Hut Strickland. That moves Jarrett to 9th.
And Bobby Labonte is going to try to get alongside. And here's Earnhardt for the lead.
Let's see if he has it at the line. Yes, by half a car length. Dale Earnhardt goes to the lead, picks up the 5 bonus points. And we have our 3rd leader already. Andretti led the first lap, then Rudd took over, and now on lap number 20, it is Dale Earnhardt up front.
And for the fans who, when you say pick up 5 bonus points, and if in case we have some fans watching today that might not be a regular NASCAR Winston Cup fan, if a driver leads a lap, he gets 5 bonus Winston Cup points. And the driver who leads the most laps also gets 5 bonus points.
The first 5 cars have separated themselves a little bit from 6th place Sterling Marlin. Those top 5 are Earnhardt, Rudd, Andretti, Trickle, and Gordon. Here is Jimmy Spencer and Jeff Bodine battling for position. That's back there for about 12th.
And now you can say Presley, because he just came into the picture.
Robert Presley, one of the rookie contenders this year.
Second in points going into this event behind Ricky Craven. Here comes Rusty Wallace.
Rusty has already moved up to 14th from his 21st starting position.
Yes, he was the 2nd round fastest qualifier.
John Kernan has a report. What's the problem with Darrell Waltrip, who has lost many positions, John?
Well, Bob, the problem for Darrell is the car has gotten just extremely loose. He can hardly hang on to it in the turns. Now, this is a brand new car that they built to bring here. They didn't test it. In fact, the crews tell me this morning they hadn't made a whole lot of changes since they got here and unloaded on Friday morning. But right now, it is so loose. Darrell's having problems just keeping it out of the wall.
Here's Presley now looking to the car of Jimmy Spencer just ahead as Rusty comes up on both of them.
Rusty trying to get alongside, turns it right on the back bumper of Presley.
Presley trying to move around Spencer.
How come you never got this excited when you were driving out there?
Well, it's simple. When I was driving, it seemed to be simple anyway. Jeff Gordon tried his best to get by Dick Trickle, was not successful. We can see that he lost 5 or 6 car lengths in trying to do that. As a matter of fact, Sterling Marlin has closed up right on the back bumper. That's Sterling in the yellow number 4. That's his in-car camera looking right ahead at Jeff Gordon in the red multicolored 24. And here Presley finally gets alongside Spencer. Can't make it. Now Rusty's going to try on Presley.
All this for 13th and 14th position. Nobody changes spots as they fall into single file formation once again. We're jumping you around because we're trying to show you where all the action is, and there is a lot of it going on. Here is Brett Bodine and Mark Martin along with the 27 car of Elton Sawyer.
Let's see if Martin can get under Brett Bodine. Let's back for 2nd place, and Rudd goes back to 2nd, 3rd, and Gordon is on the apron of the racetrack to take over 4th, and now is Sterling Marlin going to be able to take over 5th. Rudd lost 4 spots at one point.
Boy, you get up out of that groove down there into 1, you get the car up high, and there's nothing you can do except wait till everybody gets around.
And you see out that picture, where's Earnhardt? He's way on out there in front of him. He's driving away.
There he goes.
Yeah, he's separated himself from the rest of the field by quite a bit, and Dr. Jerry Punch can tell you about Ricky Rudd.
We're starting to hear a common complaint from some among the top drivers, including Ricky Rudd and Jeff Gordon, but particularly Rudd, about the car being very, very loose. And Billy Engel said, well, just settle down, be careful, be easy, this racetrack will bite you, back off, and we'll fix it when we get a pit stop. The same thing was said by Ray Evernham to Jeff Gordon, who reminded him about his poor finishing record here, dog, that you got a loose race car, you don't want to push it, Jeffrey.
Well, Benny and Ned showed you in the early going how difficult it was for Jeff Gordon here in the previous races. And look at this 2 abreast. That's Grissom and Todd Bodine. Now they come into single file, but Todd goes to the inside of Steve as they head for one, and Todd.
Oh, and they make contact.
Be careful there, guys.
All right, let's go back to 23. That's Jimmy Spencer, the 23. That's 8, Jeff Burton trying to get by Spencer. There we see the 30 car, Michael Waltrip. And also the 98 car of Jeremy Mayfield. What are they racing for, Ned?
19th position. The 8 cars and 23 cars in 18th position, about to lose it.
And Burton has Spencer into one. While this action is going on, Dale Earnhardt continues to lead, and with the amount of laps he has led 2,400 laps here at the track, too tough to tame. Now Bill Elliott comes up on Jeremy Mayfield, and Bill Elliott, who probably had the fastest car here in the practice on Friday, but had a problem during qualifying and nearly wrecked in turn number 2, is trying to move up from the rear of the field and this nose-to-tail racing.
They're trying to wreck right now. And it's only great driving that saved them from wrecking. We can see that Spencer's car evidently very, very loose because he lost 3 spots. All 3 of those cars able to get by Jimmy Spencer. Now Jeremy
looking low side of you.
That's Michael Waltrip's radio.
After the 98. 94's coming too. 94's coming low. Clear after the 94.
With that information, Michael knows that he can go back
Low
down
traffic,
low.
low groove up here in front of you. 19 car.
And here's Jeff Gordon still trying to get around Dick Trickle, but he hasn't been able to do it.
This is 3rd and 4th here.
Bud Forster talking to him this morning. There Gordon goes.
Yep. Just took that much of a slip by Trickle to allow Jeff to go underneath.
That's all he needs was just one little bit of a slip.
And I tell you what, if we just ease that ease that camera, look at it. John Andretti is gaining on Earnhardt.
It was a 1.3-second separation a few laps ago, and now John Andretti has cut into that lead substantially. But it's still Dale Earnhardt up front with Andretti second, then Gordon, Trickle, and Marlin after 31 laps of the Mountain Dew Southern 500. It is Race Day America here on ESPN, and happy Labor Day weekend to all of you. We hope you'll stay with us and see all of Race Day America, which includes, among other things, this Winston Cup race, plus the IndyCar race coming up from Vancouver at 5 o'clock Eastern Time. Well, John Andretti had gone right up to the back bumper of Dale Earnhardt, but then they started to move through traffic, and Earnhardt is a little bit ahead of John once again, but it looks like Andretti is keeping right up, Jerry.
Bob, you're exactly right. And what's happening there, the reason John Andretti was able to catch Earnhardt is what Tim Brewer is telling his young driver, who's only raced here 4 times. Brewer is telling Andretti, be smooth, be consistent, don't punish the race car. And every lap when he goes by, Brewer tells Andretti what Earnhardt's lap time was and what his lap time was. And for 4 consecutive laps, Andretti was able to beat Earnhardt by about 0.15 of a second. And now, by being smooth, he is right there once again on the back bumper.
He sure has. He has narrowed the gap once again, and it's down to less than a car length. Let's see how Andretti handles the situation out of turn 4. He could very well take the lead back from Earnhardt again into 1, and he will.
Man, how'd he handle it? He just pressed that one on the right. But Earnhardt's going to try to come back.
And meanwhile, while those two have been battling, Jeff Gordon has caught up.
After he got by Dick Trickle, he has really moved in on the front runners. Jeff Gordon, I think, is the fastest car on the racetrack right now.
Which, if we remember back to the spring in March, he was the fastest car here involved in an accident down in turn 1, but Jeff Gordon did have the fastest car. That's Ed Barrier in the 32 car. There's a race. Derek Cope and Elton Sawyer.
That's for 31st position.
And Cope takes it away.
Gordon takes second from Dale Earnhardt. So now it's Andretti, Gordon, and Earnhardt, the top 3. A lot of things at stake here this afternoon, but if Chevy can finish ahead of Ford, Chevy will clinch the manufacturer's title for 1995. They don't necessarily have to win the race, they just have to finish ahead of a Ford. So in other words, if Pontiac could win, and if Chevy finishes second, they can still clinch the championship. Andretti's driving away a little bit.
Well, I don't know. Jeff Gordon, he got by Earnhardt. be up there in a second. And then Jeff Gordon isn't just sitting there coasting. He is running awfully hard.
He's running. I suspect one thing they would like to do here pretty early in the race would be to go up there and take the lead and get those 5 bonus points we talked about earlier, because every point you can pick up, the better it is.
Trickle and Marlin there you saw battling for 4th as we watch the field come through corner number 4.
See Ward Burton, the MBNA car. Pontiac has been able to get by Ricky Rudd.
And the Roush drivers are running together on the racetrack. Musgrave and now Mark Martin. And of course, as Benny indicated earlier, Martin takes that position. There will be 3 cars in that stable next year with Jeff Burton driving the 3rd.
These cars are running back 22nd, 23rd, and 24th.
Looking out the back bumper of the Mark Martin car. My understanding is that the 3rd car will not be based in Liberty with these 2 cars, but somewhere around Charlotte. And Jeff Gordon has just about caught John Andretti.
And Earnhardt staying right there with them. Roy Allen was in the pits for a while. He lost 3 laps. Now he's gone another lap down on the racetrack. He's being shown back in 41st position.
From Dale Earnhardt's roof cam, you can see that he has fallen back to 3rd and is just that much behind Gordon and Andretti.
That much is not. And you can see what makes turn 4 so difficult. Probably you can't see where you're going. All you're seeing is the racetrack direct in front of you, and there's the corner. Comes up so suddenly. From inside the race car, you just can't find where the corner is.
And the longer they run on these tires, the hotter they get, the slicker the racetrack gets, and that corner really comes up in a hurry then.
One of the fastest cars on the track at the moment is Jeff Burton, who is back in 15th position. He started 26th. Moved to 24th position by the 16th lap, and there you can see how he currently make that in 14th position as he goes to the inside of Bobby Labonte and takes that spot. So Burton from 26th to 14th in the first 44 laps.
Wow, I'm impressed.
Really, it's a great run. Up there and past Bobby Labonte and Rusty Wallace.
We're clocking him. We believe, however, he is running faster than those up front, including Andretti and Jeff Gordon. Now Rusty Wallace goes to the inside of Bobby Labonte, takes a look, cannot pull off the pass in turn number 2. Rusty Wallace came here with a brand new race car, and we understand the 40 car Rich Bickle is smoking.
Which is what they need. Yeah, it's smoking. Yep, sure is. It's like an oil leak of some kind.
Here comes Morgan Shepherd into the picture. Morgan is 30th and Bickle is 29th. But you can see that there is definitely smoke, very obvious.
It's like the fenders rubbing there, Ned. The left rear tires rubbing the quarter panel, looks like.
Could be. Morgan's being very careful back there. He's not sure where that smoke's coming from. As long as he isn't getting oil on his windshield, well, he can feel reasonably comfortable with it.
There are your top 3, Andretti, Gordon, and Earnhardt. That both of our experts up here in the booth have had success here at Darlington. Both have won on this racetrack. Here is Dale Jarrett trying to take that 5th position away from Dick Trickle.
Can't quite make it. By the way, Steve Grissom just pulled a Meineke car in the pits on the back straightaway. And he was awfully slow as he did that.
Well, Jarrett started in 12th position and has moved to 6th.
He's been clocked. I've been had a clock on him for some reason, but he's been running a little bit faster than the leaders the last 10 laps until he caught up with Trickle here.
And in 2nd position now is Dale Earnhardt as he was able to pass Jeff Gordon.
Wow.
There you are. This is how it happened.
Down the front straightaway. He gets alongside, goes inside, and Gordon just backs off, lets him go, and Earnhardt takes that spot away. I would guess that Earnhardt is starting to run just a little bit higher. See, he's running a little bit different groove than before, and he's found a faster way around the racetrack.
And while you take a look at the top 5, we'll tell you that the 40 car Rich Bickle has been black flagged. We'll be right back. It's Race Day America on ESPN. First coverage, the Southern 500, the Mountain Dew Southern 500 from Darlington Raceway in South Carolina. There's your leader, John Andretti. Andretti, who started on the pole, going for $15,200 in Unocal bonus money. Right behind him is Dale Earnhardt. John has a lot of traffic up ahead.
Yes, he does have. As we see Bobby Hamilton in the 43, Ken Stradom, who's going out of the way, and that's Mike Wallace in the car number 90. They're running for 36th and 37th position.
Wallace will go up high, allowing Andretti to pass easily on the inside. Now he comes up on Bobby Hamilton.
Not easily, Bob. I don't think there really is an easy pass at this racetrack. Oh, and Spencer, gut together, coming off two, but everything's okay. They continue on. And we'll watch Earnhardt as he tries to get by Mike Wallace.
They're in their 55th lap now, so pit stops will be coming up within 10, 12 laps, maybe 15, somewhere in that neighborhood.
So all those folks up in Detroit at Kmart, Little Caesars, watching and saying, wow, our car is up front. And the rest of the people on the other side of town watch that Goodwrench Chevrolet. Ricky Rudd, outside pole sitter, lost a lot of spots. Where is he now, Ned?
He's back in the 10th position. I mean, the 13th position.
Wow.
There's Rusty taking position from Lake Speed. That was the 14th position.
Riding along with Rusty Wallace down the backstretch. Now we're in Ricky Rudd's car, showing how he started second, led the couple of laps, and then started to go back. Right now, he is in 13th position.
And Billy Engel, his crew chief, announced this week that he'll be leaving the Ricky Rudd team at the end of the year. He wants to pursue a career in driving. What do you think I was going to say?
Well, I knew what you were going to say. It kind of reminds you of Kirk Shelmerdine, who gave up a crew chief spot for the same future.
But Billy drove some a few years ago as Rudd just blows by Ricky Rudd.
Rick is not fighting them once they come up there. He knows that his car is not right. He's just waiting for that first pit stop.
Which won't be long, Ned.
Won't be too long.
We said 58 to 68 right now. We've been.
They're on the 58th right now.
So it won't be long. These guys will be hitting pit road.
Jerry, what's this pit strategy as we get ready for the first round?
Well, John Andretti's been getting awfully good fuel mileage this year. In fact, he could probably go as many as 70 laps, but it won't be a calculator that's going to determine when Andretti pits. It'll be the stopwatch that Tim Brewer is using here on pit road. Brewer said that once John begins to really fall off in lap times, which could be as early as lap 60, which is just a couple laps away, that's when I'll make the call and bring John down pit road. So expect to see Andretti pit sometime between lap 60 and lap 64.
That will be just a few laps from right now, as both of those cars have moved through that traffic that we talked about, and Dale Jarrett continues to go to the front.
In the last 5 laps, he's picked up about a second and a half from Andretti.
Kyle Petty pulled off the racetrack. He's headed towards the pits on the back.
He had just gone a lap down, so he decided it's time to come in and get some new tires.
Wave it up and down.
Barry Dodson telling her, waving the thing up and down so he can find where his pit is.
So pit stops coming up. We'll take a break before they occur at the Mountain Dew Southern 500. John Andretti leads at the end of 59 laps. Well, the definitive racing highlight show, RPM, will keep all of our racing fans up to date with results, features, interviews, and highlights. It premieres on ESPN2 tonight at 8 o'clock with all the news from NASCAR, IndyCar, Formula One, motorcycles, IMSA, Supercross, you name it. RPM tonight at 8 o'clock on ESPN2.
The 7th car was 7th, and now he's 6th because he passed the 22 car, and pit stops are taking place.
Joe Nemechek comes out on pit road. Robert Presley, here comes Bobby Hamilton pulling out.
Lake Speed made a pit stop while we were on the commercial break.
Hut Strickland was in. John Brennan has a report on Lake Speed.
4 tires, Lake Speed, everyone. They also around a bite out of Lake Speed's car. As Greg Sachs is in for a 4-tire change. Bobby Labonte, who is in, is also on pit road. He complained his car was tight. Everybody else talking about the cars being too loose. They'll come around to the left side as Sachs sits in the car. Rusty Wallace also coming down pit road. He'll pit right behind Greg Sachs as that crew will get ready to go. We're at lap 65. We were expecting pit stops between 65 and 70. Ricky Rudd, whose car also wasn't handling properly, is on pit road. There will be 4 tires for Rusty Wallace and probably an air pressure adjustment. And John Andretti, the leader, is slowing down, making his entrance on the pit road. They're around to the left side on Rusty Wallace. Ricky Rudd is now in getting service, as is Terry Labonte. John Andretti making his way very, very slowly down toward Dr. Jerry Punch.
Meanwhile, they have changed rights and now left side tires on Ricky Rudd, and they are bumping the spoiler up. Here comes the 28, the 24, and the 4 as John Andretti brings the Little Caesars Ford Thunderbird to a halt. They change right side tires. Daryl Andrews carries the tire. Here is Tim Brewer changing the right front, now the left front as Terry Wooten puts the jack beneath the left side, jacks the car up. Here comes Dale Earnhardt down pit road, and they put the lug nuts on and drop the jack on John Andretti. And Dale Jarrett is out, as is Jeff Gordon. While Earnhardt brings the Goodrich Chevy down pit road. The 9-time winner here at Darlington, South Carolina. 7-time Winston Cup champion. Now we'll go to the right side of the Earnhardt car. Expected to be a routine pit stop. Meanwhile, Bill Elliott also getting service. As you see, back on Dale Earnhardt, right side tires have already been changed. Now, David Smith puts the jack beneath the left side of the car. 1 pump, 2 pumps, and the car is down and away. Let's go to John Turner.
Jeff Bodine heading down pit road, and also Ward Burton will also be coming down pit road right behind him. They are pitted nose to tail. Also, Dick Trickle headed down pit road. Jeff Bodine, they will take on 4 tires and pull the fingers out just a little bit. Ward Burton's car has been just a little bit loose, so we would expect them to make a chassis adjustment along with taking on 4 tires. Both teams will now, Bodine's team already finished on the right side, swinging around to the left side, as does Ward Burton's car. There goes Doug Bodine down pit road. Left side tires coming off of Ward Burton. Lug nuts being tightened on Jeff Bodine. He is down and away. Ward Burton finally, it is finished as they get the hose out of the way. He gets around the tire on pit road and heads back out.
Well, when this is all over, Dale Earnhardt's going to be the leader of this race. Andretti will be second. Dale Jarrett will be third. That's after everybody has made their pit stops.
He isn't the leader right now because not everyone has made pit stops. When everyone does, Earnhardt will be the leader. But before he came in and relinquished the lead, John Andretti led 31 laps, and that's the most laps he's ever led in a single race in his NASCAR Winston Cup career. Here he is, running in front of Dale Jarrett, passing Brett Bodine. Right now being shown in the lead is Todd Bodine.
We'll have to wait for our scoring monitor.
Mark Martin, I believe, guys, just hit the wall down in turn 1. He made a pit stop just a few laps ago. He's going slow into turn 3.
We understand that he missed his pit stall the first time. Now he brings it down off the banking, but will not into the pit.
Missed it again.
Yeah, he's going very slow.
He's pitting on the back stretch.
Oh, I see.
That's right.
And we can see some heavy damage to the right side of his car. So Mark Martin will not win the Southern 500.
1 of 3 drivers going for the $100,000 bonus, and here's the replay from the roof cam.
And it's shot right up to the wall. He hit that wall a pretty good lick.
Man. Now we see him going down to his pits. Bill Weber's there.
Well, Mark Martin has limped to his stall here on the backstretch. He missed it the first time. Then he came in for his routine stop. And as you saw, he came out and hit the wall. They're changing the right side tires, pulling the sheet metal away. He's got heavy damage on the right front and some that appears on the right rear. Quite can't see it from here. This is very expensive for Mark. He hasn't had real good luck here. This is going to cost him points, and he's out of the running for the $100,000, as you guys mentioned up top. Steve Neal working on the right front tire. They continue to pull away at the sheet metal. Mark sits patiently in the car. These guys thought they had a real good car here today. Steven told me they didn't qualify well. They simply couldn't get the car to qualify. They were good last night. Thought they were going to be good today, but they're losing laps, points, and money right now, guys.
Already 3 laps down and continues to lose as he continues to sit on the pit road in the backstretch. There is the leader of the race, Todd Bodine, in car 75.
That's 32 cars, Ed Barrier.
Ed Barrier's 2 laps down. Morgan Shepherd in the Wood Brothers car number 21 is being shown in second place. Now remember, most of these cars, I think, pitted during that early caution that we had. Morgan definitely did because he had a little.
All you can, watch your speed.
They're telling him now to get ready to make a pit stop and come as fast as he can, but he has to watch his speed. As we see, Dale Jarrett has caught the 37 car of John Andretti. That is a race for him. Will be in second place in just a moment.
Morgan Shepherd is down off the banking and coming down the pits. And there goes Dale Jarrett to the inside of John Andretti and taking that position away.
That would be the third position since Morgan Shepherd has made a pit stop.
Todd Bodine continues to lead, but will need a pit stop before too very long. The Wood Brothers crew continuing to work on Morgan Shepherd into the backstretch. And Mark Martin is back in for more service on the Valvoline Ford.
They're trying to set the toe in on the car, using a string to try to adjust the toe in. Basically, they want the front tires pointing straight ahead, and they weren't, so they use a string to do that.
Mark is reporting that the toe-in is real bad on the car, so they're trying to do everything they can to correct that problem. Bodine is the leader. Dale Earnhardt is second in the early going of the Mountain Dew 500. Well, Jimmy Spencer just about took Nemechek out, didn't he?
87.
Spencer nearly took Nemechek out.
And
Clear.
Must be on the way to pit.
Clear.
Todd's going to
80, leader, 60.
lap down.
There's 3 cars in turn 4. He's the next one in line.
Who is next?
Todd's going to be a lap down once he makes a pit stop because Earnhardt's not that far behind him.
Span then. Okay. Okay. Thank you very much. Don't forget to get that sign on. That makes me very proud. Okay. There's a more close-up view of the damage sustained by Mark Martin when he hit the wall up in turn number 1 a few laps ago. As you can see, the car now is back in the garage area. They'll be doing some work on that car, trying to get it back out as quickly as possible. But a tough break from Mark Martin, who was one of the 3 drivers going for the $100,000 bonus. And you can see that Mark is out of the car and surveying the damage.
not very happy about that, I would add.
Been a tough week for him.
Yes, it has.
Back in the 18th row. That's unheard of for Mark Martin and the Jack Roush team. Well, here's Todd Bodine finally giving up the lead on lap number 81 and coming in for the pit stop on the backstretch. So that's going to complete the cycle now. Dale Earnhardt is up front with Jarrett second and John Andretti third. Here's Bill Weber.
Well, Mark, I hate this for you. Great run yesterday. You had a good car that would race good. What happened?
It was racing real good. I messed up. I missed my pits over here on the back stretch. Had to go around, got behind, and lost it trying to make up what I lost. I just trying too hard and lost it.
This crew's going to work on it. 87 has brushed the wall. They need a new track bar and a rear end housing back here. They're going to work on that. They're going to try and get it back out. Remember, he's third in points.
Nemechek is headed for the pit area also, shucking some pieces as he goes. This is what happened to Joe.
We see him get loose, and when he saves it, he goes up. Oh, my goodness gracious, right in front of Andretti and Jeff Gordon and Sterling Marlin. Wow. Whoa.
I don't think there was any damage to, I don't think they touched, but man, a close call for both Andretti and Gordon running second running third and fourth.
And Sterling Marlin has just passed Jeff Gordon to take away the fourth spot. So I wonder, is Jeff Gordon slowing down or is Sterling Marlin getting that fast? Remember that 4-car, Sterling Marlin, won the race here in the spring, the Trans-South 400.
Indeed he did. Here's John Kerner with Joe Nemechek as he comes in.
Joe Nemechek and radio to screw and said that the right front tire had gone flat. That's what caused it. A lot of damage on the right side. In fact, they're discussing some things about possibly taking this car to the garage area to finish the repairs. Joe had told me earlier this morning, you know, this was the backup car. It's been wrecked a lot. It was wrecked in Charlotte. We wrecked our primary car for Darlington in practice early on Friday morning. We pulled this out. Our goal today is to finish with a clean race car. Well, obviously, they didn't achieve their goal today.
Let's take a look once again at how this damage occurred that they are trying to correct.
Caution flag is out there. We're seeing the car in the wall. 4-car will take a look from Sterling Marlin's car. Good thing he didn't go across the racetrack, huh?
Yeah. The caution is for debris on the backstretch.
Yeah, that's a tough break for Dale Earnhardt because he had about a 10, 15-second lead, didn't he?
It was between 5 and 6, but he was pulling away. Yeah, he was motoring right on.
It's our second caution of the afternoon. There is the debris on the backstretch that has resulted in the slowdown. We were averaging 142.921 miles an hour when the caution came out. This is going to give the Joe Nemechek crew an opportunity to do some work while not losing quite as much time.
Boy, now this is what all these teams have been waiting for, that caution flag to make a pit stop and work on this thing, do all the repairs you need to.
Break from Michael Waltrip, he was the next car to be left as we see the leaders heading down pit road. Michael in 19th position, so there are 19 cars on the lead lap. As we see Earnhardt, we ride with him down pit road. All the way down to the end.
Yep, all the way down toward turn number 1. So it'll be a long ride for him. Dale Jarrett is the first to flank off. Then Marlin, Andretti, Jeff Gordon, Jeff O'Dine. Earnhardt finally arrives. We'll watch Earnhardt, Jarrett, and Andretti on the left.
Jarrett had a 16.5-second pit stop on the green flag pit stop.
Here's Jerry.
Left side tires now going on the Goodrich Chevrolet. You're watching 3:28 and 37. Earnhardt is down and away. The 28 is out. And here comes Andretti. So it'll be Earnhardt, Andretti, and then Dale Jarrett, followed by Jeff Gordon, Sterling Marlin, Jeff O'Dine, and Rusty Wallace.
Earnhardt with the fastest, 19.6. Rusty Wallace will make a big gain on this pit stop.
He was running 9 spots going in. And Dick Trickle is stalled right in the middle of pit road.
And about to get run over by Dick Trickle. Now he's backing up. I mean, about to get run over by Hudson.
There's the reason they didn't get the lug nuts tied on the front tire.
Come on, let's pick it up. He said, everybody, Jerry.
And Donnie Wingo ran up and tried to borrow some lug nuts from the Goodrich crew. He only had about 2 lug nuts on, and they weren't tied. And now they're out on pit road with help from Tim Brewer as the field goes by. And now Tim Brewer puts the lug nuts. The crew chief for John Andretti on the left front tire. Now the left rear tire going on. The Dick Trickle quality care for it. The field not going by. What a tough break for Dick Trickle. And now they're going to work on the right side to make sure they have the lug nuts tied on the right side. There are only 2 lug nuts apparently on the right side, so they're going to hold him there. Nope, they're going to send him out and have him come back around and come in. But a tough break for Dick Trickle. He will lose a lap.
This team was so pumped going into this race, and you can see the total deflation in everyone as a result of that incident. But now they've got to concentrate on getting themselves back up because we are still a long way from the end of this Mountain Dew Southern 500. 88 laps completed. We are under caution. We are back at Darlington, still under caution. Behind the pace car is the 3 of Dale Earnhardt, the leader of the race. And then John Andretti behind him, along with Dale Jarrett, Jeff Gordon, and Sterling Marlin. Coming up on the inside and getting set for the restart, those cars that are a lap down, led by Jimmy Spencer. We're under caution because debris in the backstretch, and this incident with Joe Nemechek just before that.
His car got loose. Up into the wall he went, right in front of John Andretti, Jeff Gordon, and Sterling Marlin. But Joe was able to keep it on the outside wall there, and they were able to go under him, and no harm done as far as they were concerned. But Joe had to come in to get a lot of work done on his Burger King Chevrolet, and his back in again.
Tell you what, if he had shot across the racetrack, it would have been one big-time wreck, wouldn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Man.
Taking out some top contenders, too.
Nemechek is 4 laps down right now.
It's a sellout here at Darlington. Every seat is full of race fans as they watch the restart.
And Spencer goes in the corner on the inside, takes position, and gets by Earnhardt.
Momentarily gets the lap back. He's in 19th position.
Earnhardt, the number 3 car, is in the leader, and he's going to be in front of the 23 car in just a second. And here's Jarrett, comes for second place on the inside of Andretti.
Dale Jarrett moves to second.
And Earnhardt was not able to make that pass on Spencer.
Well, in fact, Spencer drove away from him. I guess Earnhardt slipped a little bit in that corner, which allowed Jarrett to move right up on him.
Here's the pit summary. Earnhardt stayed the same. Jarrett lost a position but has gained it back. Andretti gained a position. Marlin lost, and Rusty Wallace gained 2 positions on the most recent round of pit stops.
And here comes Jeff Gordon trying to get by the 37 car of Andretti.
Not right now. Let's see what happens in 1. No challenge there either.
Looks like Andretti's car maybe is a little bit tight right in the center of the turn.
Now Gordon's got a run on him. There he goes.
And Jeff Gordon does take over the spot, and so now he goes to 3rd, and we get a report from John Kernan.
Bob, Rusty Wallace picking up 2 spots this last time, and it was a blessing in disguise for them. The car, after they had changed tires the first time, had gotten pretty loose on Rusty, so that caution flag came out. They were able to come in with full fresh tires, add a round of bite to the car, and they did all that in 17.5 seconds. That's why they picked up 2. Let's go down to Dr. Jerry Punch.
And John, unfortunately, it was a miscommunication between crew and driver that hurt Dick Trickle. They were going to take a rubber out of the right rear on the car number 15. They took the rubber out, dropped the right side jack, and Trickle took off. They had already taken the left side lug nuts off, so he came down pit road. And before they got him stopped, the left front tire had fallen off.
He lost a lap back to 29th position, did Dick Trickle, and Dale Jarrett is challenging Dale Earnhardt for the lead. A great second half of the season for Dale Jarrett, who comes into the race 12th in the points. He has scored the second most points in the second half of the season, next to Jeff Gordon.
Spencer was trying to get underneath Dale Earnhardt to try to get back in the lead lap.
While all that was going on, Jeff Gordon called. Let's see, Gordon hadn't led this race yet today, has he?
We have had 6 lap leaders. Here is Sterling Marlin now going to the inside of John Andretti and taking 4th. So Andretti losing positions here.
You're right, Ned. There's something just not exactly right on the chassis on the 37 car right now. And we'll see how far Sterling Marlin is behind our leader, Dale Earnhardt. There he is, Earnhardt going in the corner.
We have had 6 leaders: Earnhardt, Andretti, Rudd, Todd Bodine, Jeff Bodine, and Michael Waltrip. Here's another Fram Field summary showing you where they're running right now. And in parentheses are their starting positions. Look at Jeff Burton, who's come from 26th to 7th, and Rusty Wallace from 21st to 8th.
That's a shaky 8th that Rusty Wallace is currently running because he's being pressured by Ward Burton and several other cars.
Jeff Gordon now challenging Dale Jarrett. He gets on the inside. Jarrett goes up a little bit. That's all Gordon needed. Get that door open, and he moves by for second place.
Jeff Gordon on the move.
I think Jarrett's another one. Maybe it's a little bit tight with new tires on, and then the longer they run, the better this car seems to get. Sort of like John Andretti.
I saw the 24 car make a serious rear sway bar adjustment when he was on in his pits.
John Kernan can tell us more about Rusty Wallace as he goes to the inside of Darrell Waltrip.
Bob, I told you about the chassis adjustment they made as they try to tighten up that car, and they still have not got the chassis exactly where they need it to be. So they still need a couple of pit stops. They're telling Rusty to hang in there. Car's still a little bit loose, but they're planning, Robin Pemberton and the crew are planning on making some more adjustments with wedge and tire pressure on the next stop. They say hopefully they'll be ready to go by the second half of this race.
Rusty 8th, and behind him is Ward Burton, who's in 9th position now. Darrell Waltrip there that Rusty is going once again to the inside of is not on the same lap. He is a lap down in 23rd spot.
And Jamie Spencer has gotten around Dale Earnhardt. You understand that Earnhardt slipped up between turn 3 and 4.
We'll check it out. See how big he slipped.
Well, there's Spencer coming up on him. Spencer in the yellow, number 23. Earnhardt gets very high coming off of there. Spencer just drives right under him.
Wow. Was he trying to let Spencer by? You reckon he's got the corner car just wouldn't turn?
That's what I believe, Benny, that he just got there and the car wouldn't turn and he had to back off the gas. So Spencer now back in the lead lap. That puts 19 cars on the lead lap.
The 41 car may have lost a cylinder. That, of course, is Ricky Craven, who leads the rookie points. And John Kernan can report on that. John, what's the story?
Well, I talked with Rick Wren, his crew chief, Ricky Craven's crew chief, right before that last caution period. And he told me, yeah, in fact, they had lost a cylinder. He says they think they broke something.
Car's definitely slowing down.
They think they broke something in the valve train, so they're just out there riding around and trying to gain as many spots as they can, as many points as they can. But with that, if it's something in the valve train, they probably won't last all that long.
I'm sorry, Bob. Looks like the 12 car is also having a problem as Loy Allen was going by Derek Cope.
Loy Allen had problems early, came in for a long pit stop. He's 45 laps behind as we completed 103. But there is Ricky Craven, car 41, and in 33rd.
As a matter of fact, Derek Cope pulled off the racetrack and went to the pits, the back pits.
Well, Jared is back in second position. And this is how that was accomplished. Boy, a good battle between these two guys.
Run straight away. Dale Jarrett gets a terrific run off 4, pulls alongside Jeff. Gets position, and inside he goes, and by he goes Jeff Gordon.
And Sterling Marlin is now right on the back bumper of Jeff Gordon and Rusty Wallace, making it a 3-car battle for second.
I wonder if Jeff Gordon didn't do a similar thing to what Dale Earnhardt did, as we see Gordon get back on the inside of Jarrett. Once again, maybe got a little loose up in turns 3 and 4. Now Marlin's going to try to go right along with him. Someone's going to back out. So I don't take that chance. Yeah.
I tell you what, now, that's exactly what we're talking about by patience here at Darlington. A lot of drivers would have went on in there and crashed. Gone in there and crashed.
There was a day when Sterling Marlin might have done that.
Yeah, exactly.
Sterling, he's been known to be real aggressive over the years, but he's gotten much smarter as a race driver, and certainly they're in contention for the championship and needs to pay attention to what's going on.
176 points behind Jeff Gordon. Here are your first 2 in the NASCAR Winston Cup points. We understand the 31 car is in the pits. John.
Felipe Lopez and the crew changing all 4 tires for Greg Saccarelli, picking up a vibration or a flat tire they had. They're now coming around to the left side. This is an unscheduled pit stop, but definitely an unscheduled pit stop. Sachs revving the motors in. Come on, let's go, let's go. Finally, they get the lug nuts tightened and he leads.
So Greg Sachs takes the Hardee's Monte Carlo back onto the racetrack. Falls back to 18th position.
One of the drivers that was in the lead lap.
Back up front, it is Dale Earnhardt.
I tell you what, Jimmy Spencer's doing a doggone good job in that Smoking Joe car. He passed Earnhardt 5 or 6 laps ago and has stayed in front of Earnhardt. Jerry Punch, what happened a little bit ago?
I talked with Andy Petrie, Earnhardt's coach, and he told me what Dale said was that with Spencer right behind him, Spencer was making the 3-car very, very loose. And as fast as Spencer was running, Dale said, I'm going to let him go. I'm going to be patient. We're going to let him go. So Dale pulled up high in turn 4 and let Spencer go. And he'll eventually slow down, and we'll catch him, which is exactly what's happening.
Well, they're up on the Hardy Chevrolet now, Greg Sachs. Sachs just came out of the pit in front of them. You think with new tires he might be able to stay in front, but no. Here goes Earnhardt trying to put Spencer that left hand.
And that time Jimmy Spencer slipped coming off the second corner.
It's still Dale Earnhardt leading this race. Jeff Gordon, Sterling Marlin, Dale Jarrett, and John Andretti are trailing him at the end of 109 of 367 laps. It's Race Day America on ESPN. Welcome to our live coverage of the Mountain Dew Southern 500. He is the winningest active driver here at Darlington, Dale Earnhardt, with 9 victories, and he is leading here again. 9 wins, 1 pole, and 15 times in the top 5 at the track too tough to tame.
Man.
His most recent victory, of course, was in the Trans-South 500 in '94. Crash in turn 2, Todd Bodine, Brett Bodine in the wall.
You can see the Lowe's car is backed up against the fence and some pretty heavy damage to the left front.
Here's another guy that's had a lot of tough breaks this year. We talked about Ken Schrader earlier, and Brett Bodine falls into that same category. Just had so much tough luck with the Junior Johnson car.
He is 22nd in points and has only recorded 2 top 10 finishes. Top of the frame. Watch from the camera in turn 2.
He's on the inside, on the outside, I guess, of the 87 car. Was that Nemechek?
Yep.
Looked like it.
I think it was.
And around he went, making contact with the outside wall, and now driving back to the pits.
And the pit, talk about the pits. Here come the leaders. They'll take every opportunity.
17 cars running on the lead lap, and most of them coming in for service. Rusty Wallace gets stopped. Dale Earnhardt is still making his way down the long pit area here. Finally arrives the crew goes to work. It's Earnhardt, Marlin, and Rusty Wallace. Here's John.
Todd Barrett adds a roundabout in the right rear. They'll now change left side tires. It'll be a 4-tire change for Rusty Wallace. Once again, they get to work on the chassis. Let's go down to Dale Earnhardt's pit and Jerry Punch.
They have already changed right side tires. John, they changed left side tires. Great pit stop for the Goodrich crew. He is down and away. They made no chassis, no air pressure, and no spoiler adjustment whatsoever as they file out single file back to turn 1.
Here's Bill Weber in the backstretch.
Jeff Burton is here. This will be no adjustments on the Ray Vestas Ford. 4 tires and fuel. He's pitted right behind Michael Waltrip, who's also going for 4 tires. Same for Bill Elliott, who is the last pit. Now the leaders go out past us. Burton is away, still working on the 94 car. Elliott and the 30 of Pennzoil. Now Elliott's away, followed by Michael Waltrip. They're not very happy with some of those stops back here. They'll have to make up some ground, guys.
Jeff Burton had moved up to 6th place before this caution.
Best of those pitted on the backstretch, as those who are a lap down now come in for service here on the front stretch, including Nemechek and Spencer and Craven and Hamilton and Marcus and Darrell Waltrip. Once again, here's what happened. That's an awfully foreboding sound, isn't it? And there's the damage sustained by Brett Bodine here at Darlington. We'll be right back. Well, a lot of crashing and banging in yesterday's Busch Grand National race. We haven't seen a great deal of that today, but we have seen some great racing. Let's get a recap on backstretch pit activity from Bill Weber.
Well, Bob, this is the right rear tire that just came off of Derek Cope's car during a green flag stop. This right here is the reason Cope came in and got 4 fresh tires. Now, the crew tells me this is a rock puncture that they probably picked up on pit road. In fact, they're very sure they did that because Derek felt it right away. He thought he'd be able to work it out as he went out on the track, but he couldn't. They had the tire go down. They had to come in and get 4 under green. That's very costly. Now, one other thing about Jeff Burton. He has not changed anything on his car today except 4 tires. They've been extremely strong, and they were running 6th when they came in and pitted last time. We'll have to keep an eye on the Ray Vestas Ford. Let's go forward to John Kernan.
Well, the work continues on Brett Bodine's Ford Thunderbird. As you can see, the left front pushed in, the oil cooler pushed in. They're also going to have to change the tie rods. Brett told the crew right after the wreck happened that the rear end just came out from under him, but I checked the tires. The tires did not look flat, so maybe he got up in some of that loose stuff and just lost it and backed it into the wall.
Here's the green flag. We're back underway. Let's tell you that Jeff Burton has fallen into 12th position as a result of those pit stops. Up front, several cars looks like they're getting their laps back, Vinny.
Well, they're trying. There's 3 cars in PSC. And Spencer gets the 31 car. Sachs is slow in front of the entire field, and he's trying to get to the inside, but the fast cars are trying to get to the inside too.
And that results in a big mess down in the third turn. Couple of cars running side by side. Jeff Gordon is way up high in the third and fourth turns. That is Jeremy Mayfield beside him. They come off and everybody's okay.
And Dale Jarrett alongside Jeff Gordon down in turn 1, and Andretti.
John Andretti is to the inside of Gordon. They'll try to go through here.
Back off, Jeff.
No way.
Yeah, he's too smart for that. He knew he didn't need to be in that position.
That boy's a lot smarter than most 24-year-olds, isn't he?
Yes, sir.
Now we see Sachs is coming toward pit road. John Kerner, what's wrong with Sachs' car?
Well, when they went back to green, he's got a bad vibration. They're going to come in and change left side tires. They think what the problem is, one of the air ridges went bad, and they didn't get the lug nuts exactly tightened. And yeah, I tell you what, it looks like they're wobbling just a little bit as he comes in. So Khalid Lopez and the crew will go around, take this set of tires off, pull them off, and now they'll put on the left side the fresh tires as the field. Mark Martinez, by the way, has just gone back out on the racetrack. Now they get the tires changed. There goes Sachs down pit road. But here comes Earnhardt and the field, and they will put Sachs down the lap.
Actually, that'll be 2 down because he was running in 30th position a lap down. So now he goes down 2 on the field.
We see Earnhardt has put a lap on Todd Bodine, the 75 car, the factory stores car, and also Derek Cope. There is the second place car, Sterling Marlin.
But Jimmy Spencer remains in front of Earnhardt and is 18th, the last car on the lead lap. There's the 28 of Dale Jarrett, who's running third.
Ooh, and there's Andretti and Gordon in very close competition.
And 4th, 5th, and 6th, and Rusty Wallace, as you started to say, Bob, is right there too.
Yep, we'll ride with him for a moment.
Gordon is trying his best to get by Andretti. He's afraid that Andretti, if he holds him up too long, then Earnhardt will get away along with Sterling Marlin. I think Jeff still wants to win this race.
Hut Strickland is right there too in the Kenny Bernstein Quaker State Ford.
And here's Bobby Labonte going to the inside of Jeff Bodine as Bobby Hillen is there in the 77. The 28 is spun here on the main straightaway and damaged the car pretty badly. Dale Jarrett running in third position. There is no yellow at the moment as Dale continues to keep the car under power, but what a break for Dale.
Man, oh man.
Boy, he was so confident coming into this race today because he felt he knew he had a good race car, and he's shown he had a good race car. I don't know what happened here, but we can see the end result of it. Not good.
Not good at all.
Let's see if we can see from a speed shot. Jeremy Mayfield was right behind him in the 98 car. Now, whether or not that caused a spin, I have no idea.
But in any case, it's a bad break for Dale Jarrett, who was running right up front, and now all he can do is just limp toward the pit area.
And I'm sure that Jimmy Spencer was wanting a caution flag desperately because he is in front of Earnhardt. There we see Spencer in the 23 car in front of Dale Earnhardt.
But not by much.
As he looks to the back of Spencer.
Here is Bill Elliott putting a move on Jeff Bodine, and he moves up to 13th. Bill Elliott, the defending champion of this race, up to 13th spot. Jeff Bodine behind him, and then Michael Waltrip. Then Lake Speed. And Jimmy Spencer, who once again is running just ahead of the leader of the race.
There we come Michael Waltrip, Pennzoil car on the inside of Jeff Bodine.
So Jeff has lost about 3 positions here in the last couple of laps. Here comes Steve Grissom.
Moved Michael up to 14th. Moved Jeff Bodine back to 15th.
Grissom is 30 laps down, by the way, in 40th spot, so this is not a challenge for position. However, Lake Speed, who is behind Steve, would be challenging Jeff. Now here is Rusty Wallace and Hut Strickland battling for position. This is for 5th spot.
The 16 car is not in that mix. He is a lap or so down, 1 lap down for the leaders.
3rd and 4th once again there, Andretti and Gordon.
I can see John Andretti. Susan Brewer must be happy sitting home. She's only been home now for 8 weeks with a broken leg. So maybe she'll get back to the racetrack one of these days. We hope so, Susan.
It's an Autolite field summary. Watch for your favorite driver. See where he was running just 1 lap ago. And the starting positions are in parentheses, so you can see who has made the best move. And Dale Earnhardt.
Oh, and he almost spun Earnhardt in.
Trying to put Jimmy Spencer a lap down. He nearly lost it.
Wow. Man, Earnhardt coming off the corner just about lost it.
Now that we've completed the Autolite field summary, let's go back and take a look at that once again. Oh, little contact there maybe, huh?
A little bit of contact. Earnhardt trying desperately to save that Goodwrench Chevrolet, and he did.
John Kernan is with Dale Jarrett.
Well, Dale Jarrett has pulled his Texaco Havoline Ford Thunderbird into the garage area. In fact, they've sent for the frame machine guy and probably some frame damage. Dale, what happened?
Just messed up. I just lost it. We were a little bit loose. We tried to make an air adjustment, and it seemed to make it a little bit worse. And I just trying to do a little more than I should have been, and I just flat lost it off the corner.
Is the track really gotten very loose today? I mean, is the track really gotten in bad shape?
Well, it's slick, certainly. We started out the race a little tight and in pretty good shape. Got a little bit looser each time, and just didn't make enough of adjustment, and I should have just backed off a little bit. Didn't do that.
All right, well, Dale Jarrett is in the garage here now. As I told you, they're going to try and get the frame machine to bring it down here and try and straighten this car back out and get it back out into the race.
Well, Dale needs the points. He would like very much to get into the top 10 at least by bank time. He's currently 12th in the points. Well, ESPN is on hand today live at Darlington Raceway in South Carolina for the Mountain Dew Southern 500, part of Race Day America. Caution once again on the racetrack, and those in the lead lap come in for pit stops. We can tell you that the incident involves, among others, Ricky Rudd and Jeff Gordon.
We don't see Jeff Gordon coming in.
And Robert Presley spun coming into the pits. Here comes the service, and Jeff Gordon is just now entering pit road at the top of your screen, coming down ahead of Jeff Bodine. We'll take a look at what happened in just a few moments when we watch the activity on pit road as it's happening live. Dale Earnhardt's crew working on the left side of the GM Goodwrench Chevrolet. Work complete, he's gone. Sterling Marlin is coming out. Bobby Labonte, Hut Strickland, Rusty Wallace, and Terry Labonte in almost contact there.
Yeah, there was a little bit of contact, I believe, between Terry Labonte and, was that John Andretti?
Look at that, just that little bit of a bruise on the bumper of the DuPont Chevrolet.
Well, Jeff Gordon at Darlington has not had good finishes. Only in the fall of '94, when he finished in 6th position, did he have a finish in the top 20.
And we see Jimmy Spencer leaving pit road. He did, in fact, get back in the lead lap. So being persistent paid off.
Now let's take a look at what happened up in turn number 2.
Well, someone has gone in the wall up in turn 1. That's Jeremy Mayfield. We see him in the wall, and all of a sudden, the 24 car spins. Now the 8 and the 10 made some contact. We see the 10 car spinning, and we see damage to the right front of the 8 car.
All right, from the next angle now, watch the top of your frame, top of the picture. Oh, a little contact there between Burton and Ricky Rudd.
We'll see Rudd is backing off to avoid the crash that's in front of him, and the 8 car running in the back of him.
Yeah, that's not what started the original crash.
Now from Rudd's
he's backing off. Okay, here's Rudd going down into turn 1. Let's see what he sees.
Yeah, Ricky Ricky was seeing the smoke coming from 2 cars and got off the throttle and got hit.
You know what I think? I think there was oil in the corner because it looked to me like that Gordon and Jeremy Mayfield spun separately, but at almost the same time. I don't think there was any contact between those 2 fellas. But it seemed like they spun about the same time, like they hit oil or some fluid on them.
Well, Rudd is going to stay on the lead lap for the moment as he's been able to get in and out ahead of the pace car. It brings the field down the straightaway, completing lap number 139. Here are the top 5, and we'll come back to Darlington in just a moment. Race Day America beginning here at Darlington Raceway in South Carolina, the Mountain Dew Southern 500, and it's things that have just happened that determine championships. Jeff Gordon, the points leader coming into this, has had a problem. Watch at the top of your screen.
That looks like that's Gordon coming in the picture, and we see Jeremy Mayfield hitting the wall behind him and Jeff Gordon spinning. I don't think that was the same accident. Do you, Nate?
No, I don't think so either. I think they both spun almost simultaneously, and I agree with you. Maybe if there was some oil on the track or something, it just was slick there. Let's go to Jerry Punch. Maybe he can straighten it out for us.
Well, guys, Ray Evernham asked Jeff Gordon, was there oil on the racetrack? I mean, why did you spin? And Jeff said, no, the reason I spun is I ran over a piece of debris that came off of a car in front of me and hit my right rear tire and cut my right rear tire. That's why Gordon spun. You see, this is what's left of the right rear tire off the DuPont Chevrolet. Let's go to Bill Weber. Bill?
Well, Jerry, I just talked to Jeremy Mayfield. He just climbed out of the car, and he's talking with his crew right now, but he says he doesn't know what happened. All he knows is he just went straight into the wall all of a sudden. So I asked him if it was oil. He goes, I don't know. All I knew is I went straight into the wall. So he's pulled behind the wall, and they're working on the RCA Ford.
Gordon stays on the lead lap in 13th position. Mayfield is behind the wall. The other car involving that was Ricky Rudd.
And let's don't forget about the 8 car, because Jeff Burton's had a great run going today, and he's got some pretty serious damage to the right front of his car.
He stayed on the lead lap, but he falls back into 17th position, the last car on the lead lap. Just about ready to go green once again here at Darlington in the Mountain Dew Southern 500. Dale Earnhardt still up front. It's Marlin second, Andretti third, Bobby Labonte fourth, and Rusty Wallace running in 5th.
Dick Trickle down on the inside. He'll be trying to get his lap back. He is in the 18th position. Saw him lose a lap in the pits with the lug nuts. He gets in front of Earnhardt. He has the third position going into the turn. So, boy, he'd love to see a caution right now. Get him separated.
Marlin, the 4 cars in second place.
Earnhardt still trailing Dick Trickle down into turn number 1 as, and Trickle gets loose.
And the 4 car almost got in the back of the 3 car, and now they're just spread out trying to figure out what's what. This is on top of Sterling Marlin's Kodak Film Chevrolet. Turn 4 down to the start-finish line, so they all got through that one all right.
Remember, Trickle started in the 4th position here today. He had dropped back, but he had remained in the lead lap until that pit stop and lost the lap. Now he goes down the lap.
And here comes Marlin to pass him also on the inside in turn number 4.
Andretti's still third. Bobby Labonte with a good pit stop comes out in 4th place.
Labonte looked to the inside of Andretti there at the end of the backstretch. You see some positions being changed back there. In the back there is Jeff Gordon, who's way back there, but again, still on the lead lap. He's back to 15th.
He and Ricky Rudd, both cars involved in that incident down in turn 1.
Doesn't look like there's a whole lot of damage. You notice some on the right side of the car, but there isn't a whole lot.
No, I don't think that now that we see exactly what happened and realize more about what happened, I don't think that bruise we saw in the bumper was caused by that incident. I think it was earlier.
Yeah. Gordon has essentially dodged a bullet here.
big bullet.
Yeah, that could have been a disaster for him.
Yeah, Cannon might have gone off there and he dodged that bullet. There's the 8 car. We see the damage to the right front of the Revestas car.
He's still passing cars, so apparently he's running pretty good. Maybe it didn't affect his running at all. And here's one that's running. That's Sterling Marlin trying to take the lead away from Dale Earnhardt. He wants to get up there and get himself 5 bonus points.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. Ooh, and he's right alongside of Earnhardt. Here he goes down the backstretch for the lead.
Now watch him. Earnhardt will back off, let Sterling go in there, and then Earnhardt will try to dip back under.
Now, man.
I mean, you know he's going to do that.
How did you know that?
I've seen him do it. It seems like 1,000 times. Now Sterling said, boy, I worked so hard to get that.
Oh, and Todd Bodine right in front of several cars.
And Sean and Jeff Burton, Jeff Gordon again dodges a bullet, but others.
Jeff Burton is involved in the accident again. Now Dick Trickle is trying to get a lap back in the 15 car, and Dick, there's cars up there. Be careful.
This is where the spotter is so important. He'll guide Dick through the remains of cars down here. The Earnhardt and Marlin let him go.
And Bobby Hillin trying to get a lap back. He doesn't make it.
Nope, didn't do it. Well, here on the straightaway we have Dave Marcus, Jeff Burton, and Todd Bodine with some very badly damaged equipment. There is Todd. He's climbed out of the car. He's okay. And the other two are going to get rolling again.
Watch out, Jeff. You might run over Todd.
Let's take a look at it.
There's Todd Bodine up on the outside. Back end breaks loose. Hits the wall right down in front of Ted Musgrave. Morgan Shepherd goes by. Bobby Hamilton goes by. Then he comes back up in front of the other traffic, including Jeff Gordon.
From Morgan Shepherd's roof cam as they are still crashing. Pointed at hope, and Morgan Shepherd made the right decision, got through cleanly.
Sound like a rock hit the windshield, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. So, the factory store's car is badly damaged. Todd Bodine and Jeff Gordon is in for a pit stop, so is Jeff Burton.
He might be fixing the brakes on that 24 car. Because he's been needing some here lately. And look at the damage from Jeff Burton's car.
Yeah, man. Jeff had such a great...
They're working on the right front. They're working up in the right front of the 24 car.
Dave Marcus comes in. They are working at the right front of the 24 car.
Well, if he wanted whatever it is they're doing in there, Benny, they got time to do it. He was back near the end of the line on the lead lap, so they had time to come in and do that work now because he wasn't going to lose many positions. Jerry, what went on there?
They were putting a rubber in the right front spring there that decided to come in after Jeff had talked about the car getting the car not really coming together like he'd like to have it. They decided to go ahead and put half a rubber in the right front spring. We are under caution here at Darlington International Raceway, 45th annual Mountain Dew Southern 500. Dale Earnhardt being shown as our leader. 151 laps are complete. We'll be back.
Just taken the green and went back to racing in the Mountain Dew Southern 500. Dale Earnhardt up front is able to keep Bobby Hillin behind him. John Andretti running in second position at the moment, and Sterling Marlin third. Make that Marlin second and Andretti third.
Earnhardt got a much better start this time than he has been in his starts.
He's getting tired of leading the race, letting all those guys beat him down in turn one. Jimmy Spencer and Dick Trickle.
Yeah, we're still the 17 cars in the lead lap. We've been that way for a long time, even though cars keep wrecking and falling out. The lead lap, people keep getting their lap back.
Here's an Autolite field summary. Dale Earnhardt has led 4 different times in this event, a total of 93 of the first 156 laps. There's Sterling Marlin running in second position. He has 2 lapped cars between himself and Dale Earnhardt.
See Greg Sachs in the Hardee's Chevrolet. He had an unscheduled stop. How many laps did he
He's
got?
3 down, Benny, 31st position. Oh, wait a little. I was looking at the
25th
position. He's 25th,
Yeah.
2 laps down.
There you go.
Yeah. Dale Jarrett coming back out on the track in the Havoline Ford. He is 31 laps down.
There you can see that Mark Martin, 51 laps down, not officially out of the race yet. They're still trying to get him back in for points. Or is he out there? He's been off and on. Now, Jerry, give us an update on the 24 car that was in for several times during that most recent caution.
Bobby made 3 pit stops, and what he had complained of is that he made that spin over and turn through the car. It gotten very, very loose. In fact, so loose he couldn't even drive it. The first time he came in, we showed him changing right side tires and putting a rubber in the right front to try to tighten the car up. He came in the second time and changed left side tires, and the third time he came in, they checked the toe in to make sure the car wasn't towed in or towed out. And apparently that had fixed it because Jeff has not complained since we've gone back to Green Flag Racing. Let's go to Bill Weber.
Jerry, the last caution worked out very well for Bill Elliott as Jeff Gordon tries to put a move on the inside of the McDonald's Ford. Elliott's car has been loose most of the day. They finally got it tightened up. Then they got a bad set of tires. So Mike Team told me that last caution paid off because they came in, put on 4 new Goodyears, and sent him back out. He also said Elliott's pretty happy. He's running his race. Right now he's chasing Jeff Gordon.
Indeed, Elliott has dropped back to 13th position.
He tried to get by Darrell Walter down to the inside. He was loose with him a little bit, and he had to back off the gas, and that gave Jeff Gordon a run on him, so Jeff was able to pass him fairly easy.
Where did that puff of smoke come from, I saw?
Yeah, I was wondering that too. It looked like it came from Gordon.
It sure did look like it came from Jeff Gordon's car.
Darrell Waltrip, 29. 3 laps down. Here comes Jeff to the inside of him. By the way, Mark Martin is on the racetrack.
4 inside. Still there. Clear.
Well, there's Michael Waltrip and Dick Trickle back there trying to make moves as well.
Gordon is in 13th position. Let's take a look at that and see if we can determine exactly from where it came.
I don't have any idea where it might have come from.
I believe something just rubbed momentarily there.
Could be that he did. And maybe he did, in fact, put a little bit of pressure on that left rear spring and was soft, and it touched. So it touched the sheet metal. So I don't know. See Rusty Wallace losing some spots there. Terry Labonte has gone by. Also Ward Burton in that Pontiac number 22. Rusty runs good for a few laps, for just a handful of laps, and then the Miller Genuine Draft Ford starts easing back. Like the car gets extremely loose.
It's back to 8th right now. That's Lake Speed, of course, right behind him. Lake registering his one and only NASCAR Winston Cup win here at Darlington in 1988 in the Trans-South 500, the spring race. Maybe Lake was going to make a move, but he did not. And the 10 car, Ricky Rudd, is also having problems. Jerry, what's the deal there?
Well, Ricky Rudd just radioed to Bill Ingles, and I think I might have a right rear tire going down. I'm getting a vibration back there. Let me ride for about 3 or 4 more laps. If it doesn't get any better, then I'll pit and we'll change it.
He's the last car on the lead lap at 17th position.
Man, I hate that riding around there. I'm thinking the tire may be flat. And look at Darrell Waltrip, how racy he was just a moment ago, and now he's on the inside. So Darrell obviously got some type of problem.
He's 3 laps down, Benny, in the 29th position. He had made a green flag pit stop not long before caution, and he had gone a lap down on the track and then made that green flag pit stop, so he's 3 laps down on VW.
Let's move ahead just a little bit on the racetrack and pick up another battle back in about 12th, 13th, and 14th. That's Elliott, Trickle, and Michael Waltrip.
There's Ted Musgrave in the 16 car. He's a lap down. He's being shown 21st. Michael Waltrip, though, battling for position. He's in the 30 car, the yellow car, and Dick Trickle in the blue number 15.
All right, guys, we need to do a tire search. Anybody sees anybody drop out, we need to look for tires. They're going to start cutting back.
Uh-oh. Tires are becoming a shortage, Doug Hewitt is saying.
We've had a lot of cautions, and every caution that comes out, they come in and change tires, and so they're using up a little bit more than they would if it had more green flag racing.
Interval from Earnhardt to Marlin in second is 1.1 seconds, and back to Hut Strickland, who's fifth, it's 3.6 seconds.
There's Kyle Petty, the Coors Light Pontiac.
And there is Jeff Bodine, who is 12th.
He said that they're running a 60. That's 30.60 seconds. The leader, he said, is running 20. That's 30.2. So they're losing 4/10 of a second to lap.
So in 70 laps, you should be lapped. Your mathematics, right?
Huh?
If you lose 4/10 of a second a lap, then in about 70 laps, you should be
My brain
lapped
didn't
down.
calculate that as quickly as it could have. Jeff Gordon pursued by Robert Presley in 33. Robert is 11th. Now Jeff has passed him and gone to 10th. So Jeff Gordon is coming up through the field after a couple of close calls.
He really has had a couple of close calls. They came in and put that half a rubber in the right front spring. And folks, what that does, that stiffens the right front spring, make the car a little bit tighter. Maybe the back end wasn't holding as good as he wanted it to, so that's the reason they did that. Maybe Rusty Wallace needs one of those too. I understand he is complaining about a loose condition on his Miller Genuine Draft 40.
And this is a brand new car that Rusty has here today. Something you don't want to do in Jones. If they took a chance, they might have been it. Did it, John?
Well, they're not sure if that is what the problem. The problem they've been chasing all day is, I've been telling you, the chassis. They just haven't had it right for the way the track is reacting today. We've had a lot of sunshine track, very, very greasy. On the last pit stop, 4 tires, they made major chassis adjustments in both the right and left rear springs. And during this stretch of green flag running, Rusty is still complaining to his crew chief, Robin Pemberton, that this car is loose, real loose. So they'll have to make more adjustments throughout the afternoon.
Rusty has designated this car PR18. He names his cars, of course. There's Midnight, Midnight Rider, and Captain, and Ronnie. This is a new Hopkins chassis and is designated PR18.
Why is it not named?
Well, I guess it's too new.
Oh.
Yeah,
it has to develop a personality before they name it, I guess.
And I think the personality is developed when they win.
Yeah.
Oh, they got to win before they give him a name. Oh, and there he's going to lose a spot.
Yeah, he is.
Jeff Gordon goes by.
Moving up to 9th place. Jeff trying to, let's see.
Yeah, Rusty will back off when they go into this game.
Yep.
He won't try to drive a Thunder Gordon like Earnhardt does.
Now, just ahead of this group is another one that we'll watch for a while. There's Ward Burton in the 22 car. He's 7th. There is Terry Labonte, who is in 6th position in the Kellogg's Corn Flakes machine.
Remember that last week at Bristol, and Labonte, and there we see the 26-18. That is a race for 4th place. The 18 is 4th, and Hut Strickland is currently running 5th, the Quaker State car.
Good run for the Kenny Bernstein-owned Quaker State 26.
You remember last week when he drove in Victory Lane with that hood all banged up?
Yep.
I saw Gary Dehart Monday after the race and said, I'd like to have that hood, that banged up hood. He said, it's already spoken. I mean, it was gone by noon. As a matter of fact, a Mooresville, North Carolina elementary school is going to have it on silent auction.
Oh.
I might buy it after all.
That thing will bring a pretty penny too, because it's famous.
It sure is. Wild, famous finish. We're nearing the halfway point here at the Mountain Dew Southern 500 on Race Day America 1995. Earnhardt continues to lead. 179 laps completed. Dale Earnhardt is up front in the Southern 500. Sterling Marlin is second, and then John Andretti. We're on the roof of the leading car. Now let's go back and take a peek at the roof cam on Sterling Marlin's Kodak Film Chevrolet.
That's a 2nd place car.
Now Rusty Wallace, who is back in 10th position. Mark Martin, unfortunately, had a problem early on, is back in last place at the moment, 51 laps down, but still out there. Ricky Rudd is the last car on the lead lap in 17th.
And he's been involved in a couple of instances today. He is slowed by some damage to his car.
Morgan Shepherd is 19th, a lap down. And finally, Loy Allen.
Pretty loose now.
Let's see, where's Loy?
10-4.
41st, there he is, 48 laps down.
He just told his crew it's pretty loose right now.
Back up front to Dale Earnhardt, 9-time winner here at Darlington. 3 Southern 500 victories and 6 Trans-South 400 wins, or 500 at least that long.
You know, and there's a second place car, Sterling Marlin. The Hunter tradition prevails again this weekend. You know, Jim Hunter, the president of this speedway, both of his children were born on Darlington race days. His son, Scott, is expecting Jim Hunter's first grandchild today.
Really? That's amazing.
Well, if he would wait one day, he'd share his birthday with a famous person, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
Bob Jenkins.
Yeah. There's the third place car.
Did you notice how I just sneaked that in there?
Happy birthday. There's John Andretti.
Led 29 laps. Started on the pole. He has been as low as 6th. He is currently in 3rd.
And look here, in 4th place is Hut Strickland, the Quaker State Ford.
Our hats off on a nice run so far.
A great run. Richard Broom, the crew, they're doing a great job today. And there's the 5th place car. In number 5, Terry Labonte, the winner last week in Bristol. Strickland,
this is his 16th race of the season. Of course, he didn't start the year with his team. Steve Kinzer was in the cockpit when the season opened, but Hut Strickland took over and has finished in the top 5 a couple of times. Here's Bobby Labonte, Lake Speed, and Jeff Gordon running together for position.
And Labonte in the Interstate Batteries car was up in 4th place just a few laps ago and has fallen back to 7th spot now in jeopardy of losing those spots.
Lake Speed in the car number 9 is in the 8th position, and now Jeff Gordon has caught that group. Still looks like a little bit of smoke coming from Gordon's car every once in a while. Take a look and see if we can see it.
Yep.
There it is again.
That was a 9 car, wasn't it?
Was it?
I think it was. I don't know where that smoke is coming from. We see Jeff Gordon's been able to get by Lake Speed. Puts him in 8th place and closes in on the back bumper of Bobby Labonte. Labonte says, go ahead, man.
Yeah.
I'm too loose for you to be behind me like that.
Right.
Bobby, one of 3 drivers, and really now one of only 2 eligible for the $100,000 bonus, since Mark Martin is, for all practical purposes, finished. Sterling Marlin and Bobby Labonte, if they should win here today, will pick up a bonus of $100,000. Let's move ahead a little bit. There's the 31 car of Greg Sachs. He's 25th, 2 laps down. And just ahead of him is the 22 car of Ward Burton, who is 6th.
Having a great run in the MBNA Pontiac. His 2nd race in that car. Just took it over last week in Bristol.
Ned, it just looks like that thing fits in like a brand new pair of gloves.
He ran well at Bristol last week. They had some problems, had an engine problem, but he was running well before he had the problem. And then here, had a good qualifying position, and now up there in 6th place.
By the way, we have passed the halfway point, and Dale Earnhardt picked up $10,000 in Gatorade money as the leader of the halfway challenge.
Jeff Gordon puts another lap on Greg Sachs.
Jeff Gordon is not quite a half a lap behind Dale Earnhardt. Just to put it in perspective, Gordon is 7th.
Ward Burton just passed Terry Labonte and went to, what, 5th place?
Yeah, got himself up on the scoreboard here. The scoreboard here in Arlington shows the top 5.
Ward Burton's best finish this year was with the 31 car. He's 6th at Michigan. The best finish for this car, while it was driven by Randy DeJoy, was 12th at Bristol. And now that is the car that Ward Burton is chasing, Hut Strickland.
Let's see how far that he has to go to catch Strickland. There it is. Not that far.
Yeah, he's coming up on him. He's pulled away a little bit from Terry Labonte, as you can see. About 3 or 4 car lengths. but he certainly has in his sights.
We forgot about Wally Dallenbach, second place finish at Watkins Glen in that car.
In the 22 car,
yeah. That's been the best finish for that car this year.
And there's the lead. That's how far the Ward Burton has to go to catch the 3 car.
Battle for 11th here. Jeff Bodine and Bill Elliott.
Jeff Bodine has it. Bill wants it.
Jeff hangs on to it. Elliott moved up significantly from his starting position, but has kind of flattened out here in around 10th, 11th, 12th position. It's the middle of the race, though. A lot of time to go.
Patience.
That's right.
Patience. Yep. And Elliott is exhibited patience, and he gets a good run on Bodine, and around him he goes. We saw Jimmy Spencer in the 33 car, Presley racing right behind them.
And here comes Dale Earnhardt once again with a nice, comfortable lead at the moment on Sterling Marlin, John Andretti, Hut Stricklin, and Ward Burton, as we're 192 laps into the Southern 500.
Stay tuned right here following the Southern 500 for NASCAR Shop Talk. Host Eli Gold will be joined by Jeff Gordon, and you'll have a chance to buy all new Jeff Gordon collectibles. That's NASCAR Shop Talk next.
After the conclusion of the Mountain Dew Southern 500, Jeff Gordon has moved up another position. He started 5th, was back in 14th at the end of 136 laps, and now as we approach the 200 lap mark, he has passed Ward Burton and moved to 6th position and is looking for 5th as Terry Labonte is just ahead of him. Well, we have seen occasionally what we thought were puffs of smoke coming from that 24 car. Let's watch him. Yep, he safely passes Terry Labonte, so he is up to 5th. We've seen possible smoke puffs coming from that car. Jerry, are we seeing things?
No, but you must have wonderful eyes, because they didn't see it down here until Ned and Benny mentioned it up there, and they were actually scanning the ESPN telecast and began watching it themselves, and they even radioed Jeff, and apparently what it is, the left front fender occasionally going in the corner will catch a tire. Now there's a slight crumple in the left front fender of the 24 car, and that's where you're seeing a little bit of smoke on the left front tire rubbing it. They've asked Jeff to be careful getting in the corner and not to rub it as much as he can until they get the pit again around lap 215.
That answers that question.
Hey, once that car's going somewhere.
It is. It's probably among the fastest on the track right now.
.168 laps to go.
Average speed of the race is 131.877.
How close is Sterling Marlin? Is he gaining on?
Well, let's see. Nope, it's gone from a 3.7-second interval on lap 193 to a 5-second interval on lap 197. So indeed, Marlin is falling back from Dale Earnhardt.
There's finally we found the good car.
And he's about the same distance, maybe a little farther in front of John Andretti. About the same, I think, as Earnhardt is ahead of him.
Sterling Marlin started 6th, is currently 2nd to Dale Earnhardt in the Southern 500. We'll be right back. It's the Labor Day tradition since 1950, the Southern 500 from Darlington. The leader, Dale Earnhardt, is on pit road. Jerry Punch, he's coming toward you.
At 55 miles an hour, Bob. Now his last pit stop was lap 137. That is some 69 laps to go. It'll be a routine stop. They will change right and left side tires, clean the windshield, and hopefully top it off. In fact, they're going to let him clean the windshield very, very well. Some drivers are already complaining of a little bit of glare now. It's going to be somewhat of a problem that in turns 1 and 2. Left side lug dust going on. Tucker Myers has it full of fuel. He's away. Let's go to John Kernan.
Jeff Bodine has just come in. It'll be 4 tire change for Jeffrey. They're making sure that they get that windshield extremely clean. Right side left body done, making sure the lugs are tied on the right rear of Sterling Marlin. Also pulls in for another 4 tire change. Left side tires going on to Jeff. Let's get back down to Jerry Park.
Pit stops continuing down here. Right side tires going on the Kodak Dome Chevrolet. Here is John Andretti putting them down in front of Sterling Marlin. They move to the left side of the Kodak car. Left side tires going on the driver. They won the Trans-South 400, and they will make a chassis adjustment on the Marlin car. Now, John Andretti already getting right side tires changed. And the left side of the car as Marlin is down and away. Left side, left front, left rear. Here is Tim Brewer tied the lug nuts. They pull the jack, and the K-Mod Ford heads for turn 1.
Here's John Kernan. Terry Labonte pulls away.
Terry Labonte had complained that his car got very, very loose. They took on 4 tires there. Didn't see a chassis adjustment, so they probably made the adjustment with air pressure. Now we should see Ward Burton on pit road momentarily as Jeff Gordon slows down, ducks in to come onto pit road. Ward Burton will stay out, so he will assume the lead. Let's head down to Dr. Jerry Park. That's where Jeff Gordon is heading.
Now remember, Gordon pitted on lap 152. He could go about 20 more laps, but Jeff radioed and said, my right rear tire is completely gone. And here is Gordon. Also in is Bobby Labonte, Chevrolet Monte Carlo. Now watching Jeff Gordon's crew go to work, the DuPont crew. Right side tires. They take the left side lug nuts off. They clean some debris from the front of the grill. And make sure that left front fender isn't rubbing too bad. Left front tire goes on. Lug nuts are in. It's full of fuel. It's up to Jeff. And Gordon is down and away. Let's go back up to John Kernan.
Ward Burton slowly coming down pit road as he will relinquish the lead on lap 210. Ward had complained that the car gets very, very loose on the long run. So we were expecting 4 tires also. He had asked them to make a track bar adjustment to tighten the car up, making sure that they get that grill clean. Remember, a lot of rubber gets on the grill, and you don't want to have an overheating problem here at Darlington. Left side tires coming off, down, going off. Ward Burton still sitting there. I haven't seen him make a track bar adjustment, so maybe they changed their mind a little slow on getting the left side tire, left side lug nuts fastened. It was 22 seconds for Ward Burton. That's not really what they needed to keep up with the lead pass. And now Bill Elliott is headed down pit road on the backstretch, Bill Weber.
And we're waiting for Bill Elliott. He has the last position here on the back pit. Michael Waltrip will follow him down pit road. Michael will pit directly behind the McDonald's Ford. Now Bill Elliott lumbering toward his pit stall. This will be a 4-tire change for the McDonald's Ford and 4 more for the Pennzoil Pontiac. Both teams go to the right side, jack up the car, shove in the fuel. The first car is in. Michael Waltrip getting his right side tires. They clean the windshield, scrubbing to make sure he has clear vision here as we head down the stretch. Now Bill Elliott getting his left side tires. Second can of fuel waiting for the overflow. Left side tires tight. Elliott down. The 30 car down. They race off pit road as Michael swings the Pontiac out the pit lane and follows Elliott back into the race.
Coming out of 2.
With a complete recycle, Dale Earnhardt picks the lead back up. By the way, when
these guys need
okay, the 98's on the high side after 98.
These guys need to hustle because Earnhardt is only going to be about a half a straightaway behind them.
High side after.
There is Earnhardt just crossing the stripe into 1.
He's going in 1, and Elliott is coming off turn 2, so they're that far in front of Earnhardt to stay in the lead lap.
With the pit stops completed, it's Earnhardt, Marlin, Strickland, Gordon, and Bobby Labonte, the top 5. We'll take another break and be back with more after these messages. Dale Earnhardt is looking for his 10th win here at Darlington Raceway in South Carolina, his 4th in the Mountain Dew Southern 500. He is currently the leader of the race. There are 17 cars on the lead lap. We're averaging 132.991 miles an hour. We've only had 5 caution periods for a total of 27 laps out of the first 217. We saw the 4 car go by. He's in 2nd. And now Jeff Gordon has moved to 3rd.
There's 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th right together. Labonte trying to get on the inside of Hut Strickland.
We had seen those cars pass Bobby Labonte drive away from him. He made a great pit stop, 16.6 sixteenths of a second for him. He made a better pit stop, according to my watch, than anyone else, and he picked up several positions. He had a lot of good track position.
Jeff Gordon did lead 2 laps, picks up the 5 bonus points. He's now led 22 to 23 races. Still, the only one that he has not led was at Laguna Seca. Here's John Kernan.
They had a great pit stop, and they really needed a pit stop. Bobby had started complaining the car had gotten very loose, and it wouldn't even get any traction coming up off the corners. They changed 4 tires, some pressure changes in the tires, and right now, it looks like they've made the right adjustments. Bobby Labonte is good to go from here.
Working on Hut Strickland right there. And there is Rusty Wallace right behind him. Rusty made a good pit stop also.
And of course, I meant Sears Point when I said Laguna Seca. They're the only race he had led. Here's Labonte, followed by Rusty, both getting by Strickland. Now the Budweiser race recap. Dale Earnhardt leading. He's led 150 in the first 217. 14 lead changes, 5 cautions, 27 laps. The average speed as Rusty Wallace goes around Bobby Labonte, 133.091. Terry Labonte challenging Jeff Bodine. Those are the lap leaders and the ones that have picked up 5 bonus points for leading the race. Bill Elliott has led
Jimmy
a lap.
Spencer goes by Bodine on the outside, puts Spencer in 11th spot.
And the only car officially out of the race, Todd Bodine, because of accident damage. There's the battle for 13th position between Bill Elliott and Michael Waltrip. Here's the battle for 4th.
Bobby Labonte passes Rusty Wallace back. That's right there with him.
Rusty Wallace's in-car camera, the Miller Genuine Draft Ford. He gets a really good run on Labonte. Can he keep it on the floor and pass him down the front straightaway? No, he can't.
Elliott and Jeff Bodine, that's for 12th. Bill takes the spot. Michael Waltrip comes by and now tries to take 13th from Jeff Bodine.
Bodine has some type of problem in the Excite battery car because he has lost 4 spots in the last 2 laps. So some type of problem with Bodine.
Still one of 15 cars in the lead lap. Robert Presley was on the lead lap, but he's still back on the lead lap. He's right in front of the leader. Robert Presley is. He is in 16th position.
Leader now.
Terry Smith started for Michael Waltrip,
who started 25th. Langley's back there in 15th for several laps, then moved to 10th and now runs 14th.
Clear.
Right now, Earnhardt.
40, leader of 50.
All right. Michael Waltrip ran a 30-40. Earnhardt ran 30-50. Needs to do some more of that.
Now Earnhardt's coming up on the 33 car, who is in 16th position. There's Ricky Rudd right in front of him. Rudd is running in 15th position, so all of these cars are about to go a lap down.
Robert Presley second in the rookie points coming into this event. One of only really 2 drivers that are still in contention for the Max Race Cars Rookie of the Year honors. Ricky Craven is first in the points. Currently he's 31st and Robert Presley is 16th.
Andy Petrie, the crew chief on the Goodrich Chevrolet that Earnhardt is driving, is going to work with a 33 car next year. And in a couple of years hopes to be a part owner of that team with Leo Jackson. So I'm sure that Andy right now is looking at this battle with mixed emotions. And Earnhardt gets on the inside, and there's Bodine. It's fallen all the way back to the clutches of Earnhardt, and here comes Trickle.
Close. Saw as Presley get the left side tires a little lower than he would like to have, and Earnhardt saw that and just stood on the gas.
Yeah, when he got lower, that shot him left the racetrack, and Earnhardt took advantage of it and went right under him.
Hey, 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 here's the battle for second spot, and Jeff Gordon is back to second.
tell you what, that has been a remarkable run that Jeff Gordon has put on. And it's been on the green flag. Yep. No caution flags to aid him, and he's gone from where, Ned, about 15 to second.
Yeah, he was back there making late pit stops. There were about 17 or 18 cars in the lead lap when they came in and put a half of a rubber in the right front spring. Boy, that DuPont Chevrolet has taken off since then.
Just like Dale Earnhardt last Saturday night at Bristol, through the field twice, as a matter of fact. Jeff Gordon has come through once. There is Dale Earnhardt, who is the leader of the race. Let's check the interval between now first and second spot.
Probably going to be about 11 seconds or somewhere in that neighborhood.
You can see 138 laps to go. Bobby's going to have at least 2 more pit stops before this thing is decided.
It's 11.9 seconds, the interval between Earnhardt and Gordon, first and second.
All right, so we've got a pace.
Yeah, and I believe he's gaining on him. Now, I put the watch between Earnhardt and Sterling Moore. I think Gordon is gaining on Earnhardt. Just after their pit stops, Earnhardt came out. He was 10.45 seconds ahead of Sterling Marlin. Well, Sterling was pretty far ahead of Jeff Gordon. I didn't clock him, but now he has passed him and only 11.5 seconds or 11.9, whatever it was. So I think he's gaining. We'll keep track of it.
Look at this statistic. In the first 11 races of the year, Jeff Gordon averaged about a 12th finishing position, 12.4. That was because he had 3 DNFs. However, in the last 11 races, his average finish just a little less than 5th. Wow, 4.9 to be exact.
And we see that Bobby Labonte has been able to put a little distance. That's Labonte in the green number 18. A little distance on Rusty Wallace in the 2 car. That's 4th and 5th. Rusty is 5th. In-car camera from Rusty Wallace.
He's 7th in points coming in, 623 behind the leader, Jeff Gordon.
Now, those two have driven away from Hut Strickland. Hut was in that mix a little while ago, but now they've driven away from him a little bit.
Now, the leader, Dale Earnhardt, if points were awarded right now, Dale Earnhardt would pass Mark Martin and go to 3rd, dropping Martin back to 4th position. Earnhardt continues to lead. He has led 165 laps so far. The premiere tonight at 8 o'clock on ESPN2 of RPM Tonight, with the racing highlights from NASCAR and IndyCar and Formula One. Anywhere they run, we'll give you the highlights on this Race Day America. An appropriate time to...
Whoa, we've got a spin and a crash.
Robert Presley into the wall here on the front stretch, damaging the right side of the car.
No caution.
No caution. Nope. I thought he was headed right for the inside wall, but he kept it off and now continues to roll. However, a lot of smoke from the right side.
Let's see what happens. There he is. That's Bobby Hillin in the 77 car. And Hillin tries to go underneath, and Presley comes down, and they make contact, Ned.
Yep, sure do. And Robert gets into the outside retaining wall. Hillin goes by down on the inside.
They were battling for 16th position, by the way.
Each one lap down.
Bobby Hillin has had a very good run here this afternoon. There is a little bit of debris on the racetrack, a little fiberglass. But again, no caution so far. Robert Presley has made it to his pit. John?
And a lot of damage on the right front of Robert Presley's Skoal Monte Carlo. Also some damage to the left rear of the car. 4-tire change for Robert Presley. That's a really good run. Remember, he won 2 races here in the Busch Grand National Series, and he was hoping to have a really good run today. In fact, he had told me on Friday he thought they could come home with a top 10 finish. That was what they were shooting for. But as we've seen, both rookies in today's race The two Rookie of the Year contenders have had their problems, and Presley has now shut off the engine. It looks like they're going to be here on pit road for quite a while.
So the work goes on the Robert Presley car, and we are cautioned. And it is for debris, but not the piece of debris that's here on the front stretch. It's for a piece of metal that's on the back stretch. And there it is.
Man.
Well, while the caution comes out, Dale Earnhardt has now clinched the most laps led today, so he picks up the 5 bonus and comes out of here with 10 bonus points.
Well, he certainly dominated the race. If anybody's going to get bonus points, it ought to be him.
Yep. So far, Earnhardt has been the one to beat. Although Jeff Gordon has come back from, dodged a couple of close calls and come up through the field to run second currently, with Sterling Marlin right now in third position as pit stops are about to occur under caution.
This will be a break for John Andretti. He was just about to go a lap down. The pole sitter was not far in front of Dale Earnhardt before this caution. And here we see Earnhardt peel off, headed down pit road, John Kernan.
Rusty Wallace, who's standing in the 5th position right now, he will hit his pit stall first of the top 5 runners. What they plan to do is add a pound, what they've already done, I should say, is added a pound of air to the tires all the way around. Rusty's car has been loose all day. That Miller Genuine Draft crew will swing to work. They've been in the 17.5-second range for most of the day, and that's what they're shooting for now. Loud down to Dr. Jerry Bunch.
Now you're watching all 3 cars pit, the 3, 24, and 2 Chevys and a Ford. Right side tires already going on the Earnhardt car. Left side going on David Smith, 1 pump, 2 pumps. Left side already on the Rusty Wallace car. He is 20.8. Rusty Wallace out of the way. And 17.8 for Gordon, he is away. And 18.6 seconds for Dale Earnhardt as he is away. Let's go to Bill Weber in the back pits. Bill?
And we're waiting for Bill Elliott and Michael Waltrip. And this caution is a benefit to both of these cars because they were also in danger of being lapped.
Follow him.
Elliott rolls in with Waltrip right behind him. 4 tires for both these cars. Right side tires coming off, the fuel goes in. Tony Gibson and Mike Dean were out at the wall with NASCAR officials pointing at the debris on the backstretch, begging for the caution to come out. They got it. Now the left side tires going on the McDonald's Ford and the Pedro Pontiac. Second can of fuel is in for each car. Elliott's ready. Elliott wins the race, followed by Waltrip.
Each time they pit, they seem to finish at the same time, and because Elliott is first, he comes
on, guys. Good job.
Jerry Punch has the story.
We're down here in the John Andretti pits and standing beside Tim Brewer. And Tim, apparently there's a problem with the car. What's wrong?
Well, you know, the thing started missing about 20 laps ago, and he first complained that, you know, it was just missing on the bottom end, but now it's missing all the way down the straightaway. We checked the plug wires, changed the ignition boxes, but doesn't look too good right now, Jerry. We'll just have to research it a little bit more.
What a tough break for John Andretti, picking up his first pole of his career here at Darlington. Now they have a miss in the engine. We're under caution in the 45th Annual Southern 500. We'll be right back.
You have missed less than a lap. Dale Earnhardt still continues to lead. We went green on lap 249. Between Earnhardt and second place Jeff Gordon are 2 lap cars, Ricky Rudd and Dick Trickle.
14th position, Trickle is 15th.
And we see Sterling Marlin right behind the 24 car, Jeff Gordon. Gordon takes a look on the inside of Trickle, can't make the pass.
Well, he don't want to see that black Chevrolet of Earnhardt get too far away.
Ricky Rudd's closing up on
When the green came out, Rudd led them down into turn 1, but Earnhardt had passed him by the time they exited turn number 1.
And the 7 car, Jeff Bodine, his problems continue. He's down on the inside now. That car's go by on the outside.
He in the 77 are racing for position for 16th. The 37 car, we also understand, is having problems. He's dropped back to 13th. He is the last car on the lead lap.
Well, we heard Tim Brewer, the crew chief on the Kmart Little Caesars Ford, say that they had lost a cylinder or something.
At least 4 cars involved in this incident down in turn number 1. Elliott got turned sideways, went up and hit the wall, and took about 3 cars with him.
There's the McDonald's Ford, badly damaged. And Bill Elliott will not win his 6th race here at Darlington. There is Jimmy Spencer, who's also up against the wall. The 90 car of Mike Wallace is badly damaged. The Heilig Myers Ford.
See Mike moving around in there.
He made some pretty heavy contact with Terry Labonte's car. There we see Labonte. I guess I could go ask Fat Hood this week, couldn't I, too?
Yeah, you can have that one probably if you speak for it soon enough. Here comes Terry around. Let's take a look at what happened going into turn 1.
Well, you see Elliott in the middle there. He's right behind the 43 car, gets a little tap from Michael Waltrip. And around he goes, and Spencer gets tapped there by the 5 car. Then Mike Wallace hits the 5 car. Spencer goes up into the wall.
And a lot of cars ran over debris, but nobody else was actually involved in hitting anything. Here's another angle.
Danny, they were running awfully close together going into that turn.
Is that the 32 or 20? That's the 32 that Mike Wallace caught that time.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
See how close they are. Bill ran right up on the back bumper of the 43 car and had to check up. And Michael Waltrip ran right in there and didn't get checked up quick enough and tapped Bill. And around they go. And Mike Wallace comes in hard on Terry Labonte.
And he comes down. He's going to the 32 car right there, just as it went out of the picture.
32, of course, driven by Ed Barrier. Now let's take a look from the in-car. First, Mark Martin.
Says, whoa.
Here's Morgan Shepherd.
Yeah, this is probably a better view. Not a view that anybody will see with a race car.
5 cars involved in this incident. Bill Elliott, Mike Wallace, Jimmy Spencer, Terry Labonte, and Ed Barrier. The Mike Wallace car is on the hook. We'll sort it all out, take a break, and be back in just a moment. It's still Earnhardt leading over Jeff Gordon, Sterling Marlin, Bobby Labonte, and Rusty Wallace in the Southern 500.
Pretty nasty looking crash.
Yeah, it is. Here's the other angle.
Oh, it happened so quick here. Just.
And there's what's left of the McDonald's Ford.
John Andretti is in the pits. He was involved in that somewhat. Jerry, what's the situation down there?
Well, just prior to the accident, we had seen smoke out of the John Andretti car. We were speculating it was an engine problem that you heard Tim Brewer report about earlier, but in actuality, it was a right front fender rubbing on a tire. Well, that's no longer a problem because he got the right front fender knocked off when he tried to slow up and to avoid that accident down in turn 1. He has been on pit road now twice. They have been trying to peel some of the sheet metal away, pry some of the front bumper bars away. They've changed right side tires. He'll go back out and run, but they still have the motor problem. Now they're minus much of the right front fender.
He was the pole sitter, of course, of the race. We've got just a little more than 110 laps to go in this 46th annual Mountain Dew Southern 500. Stay with us. That's part of Race Day America coming up. Paul Page and the gang at Vancouver for the IndyCar race. And again, that's simultaneous coverage with in-cars on ESPN2. ESPN Speed World coverage of the Southern 500 is being brought to you by Pontiac and your Pontiac dealer. We are driving excitement. Pennzoil, the motor oil that works like liquid ball bearings. And by Goodyear, #1 in tires. Well, a lot of Goodyears have been used here today because we have had lots of caution periods allowing drivers to come in and put on fresh rubber. Now we're
About to go back to green, although it'll be at least one more lap and a half.
Well, I would think that Bill Elliott's tires would be for someone.
Let's get down to Jerry Punch, who's with Jimmy Spencer.
Jimmy's still sitting in the Smoking Joe's Ford, and Jimmy, you took a heck of a lick up there. What happened?
Just a racing deal, you know, Jerry. A bunch of lap cars racing pretty hard, and a couple lead cars there, Bill Elliott and Terry and myself was racing them, and they just raced them too hard as far as I was concerned and caused an accident and put us all on the wall, you know. I think it's something this team had a heck of a race car for me today. The Smoking Joe's car ran awful strong, made a lap up, and really thought we had a shot at winning this race, and we were biding our time, and there's still a lot of laps left, you know, but we can't win the race on the hook, but, you know, maybe we'll have a little bit better luck for them next time, I guess.
You would think a driver with this kind of torn-up race car would be depressed. I walked over to him, he had this huge smile on his face, and said, "Hey, Doc, I had a heck of a race car today. I'm excited. I want to get back in it." And Jimmy is still waving to us. What's that, Jimmy?
I got to say something, man. My Uncle Si, Spencer, is dying of cancer. He ain't got a whole lot of time left. I love you, Uncle Si. I know you're watching us on ESPN, and I'll be calling you this week, bud.
An emotional message from Jimmy Spencer, guys.
Indeed, and we'd like to express our get well wishes to Dick Dalrymple, one of our employees back at the ESPN Bristol compound, who's under the weather. And Dick, we wish you the best.
And I want to say hello to Frank Steelman Jr., who's in the hospital at Baptist Hospital in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Just went in there this week with leukemia. Frank, we're thinking about you, buddy. One of the greatest car owners in the 37, 38 Ford Coupe days back then. He had some great race cars. I had the pleasure of winning in his cars, and wish you well soon.
And Bill Brazenton, you know, Harold Brazenton built this
sir.
racetrack. His nephew, or his brother, helped him build it, and he made every race here, Bill Brazenton, every race, and he died July the 1st. Got a nice letter from his daughter, and we all do
our condolences.
Our condolences,
indeed.
yes.
John Kernan is with Mike Wallace.
Mike Wallace has just been checked out in the infield care center. Mike, you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. It's a shame, you know, we had a pretty decent car today. We were having a little bit of trouble with our run, but went down in our one and just, you know, the sun's bad, but you seen a couple cars turn sideways. It was Elliott or Labonte, a red car's all I could tell, and tried to get slowed down and missed the thing, and as I got slowed down and turned the car, it just took off sliding like there was something on the racetrack, and it's a shame. I think I got into Terry and hit him pretty darn hard, and then I got hit a couple more times. And it's a shame. Heilig Myers Ford was just going to have a decent day, and ended up to be a short day for us.
Well, Mike Wallace has been checked out. He is okay. Bill Elliott just came into the care center. And guys, he got out of the ambulance under his own power, walked in. Didn't look like he was limping too bad when he walked into the care center.
Jerry is with Terry Labonte.
Well, Terry's still sitting in the car. Terry, last week you dodged all the accidents. Today you weren't quite so lucky.
No, we got caught in a wreck, and just one of those deals, you know, and we missed a few of them, but we got in that one.
Well, they're going to try to fix the Kellogg Chevrolet. It is heavily damaged here at Darlington, South Carolina, as we continue under caution in the 45th Annual Mountain Dew Southern 500. We'll be back.
Labor Day weekend tradition here at Darlington, South Carolina, the Mountain Dew Southern 500. We are 262 laps into this event. Dale Earnhardt is leading. We are under caution because of a 5-car incident up in turn number 1. Well, when we come to Darlington in the fall, it's always nice to anticipate who is going to be inducted into the NMPA Motorsports Hall of Fame. And it was one of our own this year. The site was the Darlington Country Club just down the street from the Speedway, and the guest list read like a who's who in NASCAR stock car racing. The occasion was the induction of former car owner Raymond Parks and our own Benny Parsons into the National Motorsports Press Association Hall of Fame. Ned did the intro.
Thank you, Steve. So after he finished, he was walking down in front of the grandstand on the racetrack, and the fans started cheering, and the closer he got to the start-finish line, the louder they cheered. He had one of those hats. That's back when he was doing the hat of the week type deal. And this one lady looked over to her husband and said, "What's Willard Scott doing here?"
Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the latest inductee of the National Motorsports Press Association Hall of Fame, Mr. Benny Parsons. Benny.
Next year, I can sit there and walk down and sit with these guys Herb Thomas and Ned and Tim and Junior. I mean, these guys are heroes of mine, and I guess almost everyone here. And I just can't believe that I'm going to be part of this group.
And once again, our congratulations to Benny Parsons and his lovely wife, Terry, was with him last night. Nice telegram from Steve Bornstein, the president of ESPN, congratulating you. So our hats off to you, sir. We have just gone green.
Thank you very much. That was a very, very special. Ned, thank you very much for introducing me.
Well, it was fun, and I'll tell you, a very deserved honor. Ricky Rudd beat Dale Earnhardt down into the first turn, so he's gotten himself back in the lead lap.
By the way, Ned was inducted into the NMPA Hall of Fame back in what, 1973 or something like that?
1972, yeah, it's been a long time.
Both of our esteemed colleagues up here in the booth are members of that NMPA Motorsports Hall of Fame.
Jeff Gordon,
he's right there, isn't he?
Can he stay there? Who, in fact, is the best of these two? The 3, Earnhardt, or the 24 of Gordon? Pretty soon going to find out.
Earnhardt moves to the inside of Rudd, putting him a lap down once again. He's in 11th position, remember, so now 10 cars on the lead lap. Last car on the lead lap is the 30 car, Michael Waltrip. Of course, we don't want to forget the fact that Raymond Parks was also
that's right.
last night.
We come to find out last night that Raymond Parks' wife and I are related.
Isn't that something?
Jeff Gordon looks right on the back bumper of Earnhardt. Could it be? We've seen Earnhardt dominate this race all day long.
Maybe Jeff was just biding his time. There are 6 or so cars involved in this one. And this one looks like it is going to maybe knock more out than the other one did. There is Greg Sachs, who's badly damaged.
Both ends of that part is shot.
Darrell Waltrip is also involved, I believe. His car up along the wall in turn 1. There it is.
This thing might have started up in turn 4.
All right, let's take a look at it.
Hey, here's Greg Sachs on the inside of Jeff Bodine, but they save it. Here comes Roy Allen. Had a notion to come down there, but he does. He comes on down there. Here there are 3 abreast going into that turn. That doesn't work. So they get together, and around they go. The track closes up, nowhere to go. And 4, 5, 6, 7. Lots of race cars got involved.
And Darrell Waltrip got turned and hit the wall at a really, really bad angle. Let's watch the in-car camera.
And Mark Martin drives through another crash.
But Darrell's okay.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
He's got the net down, and he's climbing out of the car. And it's good to see that for the 5-time winner here at Darlington.
All right, he's out. He's okay.
A little flame burning raw gas there at the exhaust pipe.
Darrell is shaking off. He's saying, I'm okay. He's going to go survey the damage and...
Tell you what, he's pretty spry for just such a hard lick.
Yep.
Darrell, I'm proud of you taking a lick like that. You know, Darrell limps a little bit anyway. Oh, he's going to get run over. That's a good idea. I don't get run over.
He's okay, Steve.
She heard you. Thank you, Rick.
I was telling Stevie, his wife Stevie, that he was okay.
Car's Junko.
By the way, the driver we were concerned with a few minutes ago, Bill Elliott, has walked out of the infield care center under his own power, so that's good news as far as his health is concerned. DW may be shaken up here a little bit. I'm sure he's going to be glad to get someplace he can sit down and get the cobwebs cleared out.
Yeah, I think he's got a banged a knee or something. Maybe.
Yeah. All right, replay once again to show you what happened. First of all, coming out of turn 4.
And that's Rick Mast, I believe, in that black and green car on the inside.
You're right.
There goes Mast. And he tries to get in the corner. And
And I saw Jeff Burton right in the middle of that again. Boy, he is taking some licks here today.
Well,
Not as hard as that one, though.
Jeff Gordon is on pit road. A bit of a surprise, huh?
Huh.
As we watch the number 31 Hardy's Monte Carlo, there is Gordon, who has come in for a pit stop. And boy, it appeared that car was running well. Jerry, what's the deal?
Well, they've made no chassis adjustment. He's the only one among the lead group that elected to come down pit road. They had last pitted on lap 243, so about 20 laps ago, he decided to come back in and change a tire. And apparently, Gordon, now I'm being told, he radioed in and thought he might have had a tire going down from some debris on the racetrack. So apparently that is the case. They're nodding up and down to me that apparently he had a tire going down. I'll find out which one it was and get right back with you.
Okay. Well, there was a lot of debris without question up there in turn number 1 where we had that multi-car tangle. So Jeff apparently ran over something. We'll be right back. We have 3 more events to televise for you after today on the 1995 NASCAR Winston Cup Series. We'll be at North Wilkesboro, at Martinsville, and then the season finale at Atlanta in November to see who's going to win this title. Here's Dr. Punch.
I told you I would show you what happened to Jeff Gordon. Indeed, I'm going to. Take a look at the right rear tire. A big gash in the outside of the right rear tire. Can you believe this guy? The second time today he has dodged the bullet. He has cut 2 right rear tires and still hadn't hit anything of consequence here. This tire was on its way down. In fact, it's almost completely flat by the time he got back to pit road. Let's go to John Kernan, who's standing by with Jeff Bodine.
Well, Jeff's sitting on the back of his hauler, and crewman coming in busily. Looks like a bunch of bees working in the hive trying to get the Exide batteries forward fixed. What happened, Jeff?
Well, John, really pretty stupid. We were a lap down, and we're just trying to get out of the way of the lead lap car, let them race for the win here. We've been having some problems, made an adjustment at that last stop, and you know the Exide T-Bird was starting to run good, but still I was letting those guys go so they could race, and the 31 car got under me off of turn 4, and I guess Rick Mast tried to go under him into turn 1, and that's 3 wide, and that's impossible here at Darlington. It's hard enough to go in there by yourself, let alone 3 cars, and I guess he hit the 31 hit me, and you told me 10 cars got in that wreck. That's terrible. That's ridiculous. I know Rick didn't do it on purpose, but it was really pretty stupid. We were just trying to finish this darn thing, you know, and that's what you have to do here when you're having a problem. Just kind of let the guys running for the win, for the lead, let them run, and you just finish the race. And here we sit with a tore-up race car. Really discouraging, but that's part of the racing, and, you know, that's a big part of what happens here at Darlington. But at this time of the race, you would think maybe early in the race you'd see these kind of wrecks. Normally, as the race goes on, guys slow down a little bit, get a little more patience, but not today.
All right, well, it's good to see that Jeff Bodine is okay. He's just sitting here relaxing, waiting to see if they can get his car back out on the track.
Jeff pretty much accurately described exactly what happened, didn't he? Let's take a look at it again here on the front stretch.
Yeah, he was right on. That's Greg Saxon, the 31 car on the inside of Jeff Bodine, and here comes Rick Mast down on the inside. He almost clears them, getting into the turn, maybe clips the 31 car a little bit. 31 gets up into the 7, and then, boy, it breaks loose behind him.
In all, there were 10 cars involved in that accident. Let's take a look at who they were. Marcus, Sachs, Waltrip, Jeff Bodine, and Kyle Petty. And then the other 5 were Mast, Burton, Nemechek, Hamilton, and Presley. So, it is caution again here at Darlington with 274 laps completed now. Back with green flag racing as they restart the Southern 500 in a moment. Back at Darlington Raceway in South Carolina for the Mountain Dew Southern 500.
Where's Earnhardt? Where's Earnhardt?
Earnhardt and others made a pit stop. Earnhardt, Sterling Marlin, Bobby Labonte.
There's Hud Strickland, Rusty Wallace. All the cars on the lead lap came in and made pit stops. Why, Ned?
Well, they were concerned, I'm sure, about debris that they might have run over. And maybe they watched the monitor when Jerry Punch talked about Jeff Gordon cutting a tire. And so they decided maybe they needed to come in and get some new tires. And that put Jeff Gordon right back up near the front.
Let's go to John Kernan, who's with Greg Sachs.
Well, Greg has been to the infield care center, checked out. You okay?
Oh, I'm fine, yeah. Just a heck of a tough break, for this Hardee's Monte Carlo because we were running so good. We had a bad air gun at the beginning of the race. Couldn't get the left front wheel tight. Had to stop 2 times for that. Got down a couple laps, but we were a top 10 car solid. I don't know, back there, just a little poor judgment on some of the other drivers' part. Jeff and I was side by side going in toward 1, and I saw a car coming with a run off of turn 4 and made it 3 wide. I was kind of the meat of the sandwich, but that's a tough break. We'll have to get him next week.
All right, Greg, good to see that you're okay.
And now we're going to restart this race, and John Andretti is still in the lead lap. He is the leader of the race in the Kmart Little Caesars car, but his engine is ailing, isn't it, Ned?
Yeah, it's been documented that he has a problem with that Ford, and this is going to give Ricky Rudd, maybe Morgan Shepherd, and Bobby Hillin, Dick Trickle, maybe an opportunity to get back up there and get in the lead lap. I think Ricky Rudd has the best shot at it because Jeff Gordon is right there and he should be fast. So we'll see how it plays out. The green flag waves.
Back to racing on lap 278. John Andretti at the head of the field. Jeff Gordon second, and Ricky Rudd gets a lap back momentarily. And a smoking car looks like Bobby Hamilton. Through turn 1, everything appears to be okay now as the field moves down the backstretch.
And there goes Earnhardt trying to get by Hamilton on the outside. Sterling Marlin is out there as well.
Bobby way down on the apron of the racetrack as the others pass by on the high side. They complete the lap, and Andretti still is in front. He has Morgan Shepherd between him and second place Jeff Gordon. There's Rusty Wallace is also catching up to the field.
There's the leader of the race, John Andretti. As bad as that engine is supposed to be running, it's doing okay, Ned.
Yeah, it is. I didn't see him lose anything up the backstretch there to Morgan Shepherd. They stayed about the same distance, so.
He's got damage on the right front of the car. It's all taped up, and the engine isn't working well, but still Andretti is off for the moment.
Jeff Gordon trying. He would love to get in front of these guys and get some distance between himself and Earnhardt because he knows that Earnhardt is going to be coming in just a few laps.
Running third right now is Michael Waltrip, who's had an excellent run. Lake Speed is fourth, and then Earnhardt back in fifth.
Now those cars, of course, did not make a pit stop.
There goes Gordon trying once again to get on the inside of...
Inside. Clear.
Can't do it.
Cannot do it. That was Shepherd's radio you were hearing. He's at 12th. Boy, Jeff, right on the back of that Citgo Ford.
Morgan trying desperately to get around John Andretti, but he isn't able to do it. He's got a little crumpled sheet metal on that Citgo Ford, Morgan has. He got involved in a bang-up early in the race, as a matter of fact.
You saw Bill Elliott there out of the race. It's his first DNF at Darlington since 1984 when he crashed on lap 328. Oh, Jeff
all right, let's go, buddy.
To pass.
And right behind Bobby Hillin is pulling up on the inside of Jeff Gordon. And now, there goes Michael Waltrip by Hillin. Dick Trickle in the 15 car. Here comes Earnhardt.
Below Lake Speed. And Sterling
45, same as the leader.
And now Jeff Gordon has the lead. Gordon passes John Andretti and puts himself up front once again.
Michael Waltrip pulls up on Andretti. Now these two cars behind Michael Waltrip, the 77 and 15, are a lap down. Then Lake Speed right behind them, then Earnhardt right behind him.
Comes Earnhardt looking to the inside of Lake Speed, and Marlin looking to the inside of Earnhardt. No movement. Jeff Gordon leads his third lap of the race.
Michael Waltrip has a run in the 37 car. And into turn 3, let's see what he does.
Waltrip in second. Oh, and Lake Speed saves it.
Man, a little bump from Earnhardt into the corner. And we see Trickle on the inside of Hillin.
That is fourth position.
Yep, 13. Racing for 13. Trickle and Hillin.
We have 12 cars in the lead lap now once Ricky Rudd and Morgan Shepherd got themselves back in the lead lap.
John Kernan has caught up with Darrell Waltrip.
Darrell, that was a pretty tough lick you took out there. You all right?
Yeah, I've been trying to be real careful all day, and I was behind. I wasn't racing anybody. They got all 3 wide down there, and I just got caught up in it. Brand new car, the Western Auto Chevy was a little bit off. Pretty good.
Hey, Michael, turn 2 behind you. 2 behind you.
Sterling Marlin has crashed.
And I think the 22 car, Ward Burton, also spun, but I believe he's going again now. Yes, he is.
Bobby Labonte and Sterling Marlin got together going into turn 1.
There just wasn't enough room for both of them.
And Morgan Shepherd and Ricky Rudd were both able to get their lap back.
Well, this is exactly what they wanted. They hate to do it at the risk of someone else's problems, but
here's Morgan Shepherd now with Ricky Rudd.
It's inside the tied Ford of Ricky Rudd.
We were down to 10 cars in the lead lap. Now we're up to 12.
Let's take a look. Here comes Bobby Labonte with the run off turn 4.
That's the original pass a few laps ago when Jeff Gordon took the lead. Now we're going to see, I think, the accident between Bobby Labonte and Sterling Marlin. Here we are down the front straightaway. Sterling is trying to protect the ground. He doesn't want to lose the position. Bobby wants it. They go in the corner. They make contact right there.
Then again.
And the 22 car gets a little bump from behind from the 26, and he goes around. And Sterling has some contact with the front of the car.
Well, we've talked about how Jeff Gordon, the points leader, has dodged some bullets this afternoon. Unfortunately, for second place in the points, Sterling Marlin, he does not dodge the bullet. Instead, tastes the concrete here at Darlington.
And the 22 car made some contact with the 18 with the right front. I don't know what kind of damage there would be there, but hopefully it isn't too severe.
And another angle.
Well, that's another situation. There could have been a lot more cars involved, but fortunately, everyone else got through.
And here's how Sterling Marlin saw it. And now Rusty Wallace perspective.
That glare, Rusty can't hardly see anything, can he?
Yeah, the glare is definitely becoming a problem for the drivers as they go down to turn number 1. Here comes Sterling Marlin back in. Terry Labonte is also back in. Dale Jarrett also on pit road.
Let's see, it don't look like there's a lot of damage. Let's get close to the front of that, Mike.
No, from the roof cam, it didn't appear as if he hit it very hard. Maybe a little bit. They're working on it there on the
there we go.
Yeah, right front. But nothing real significant.
They need to close that gap up between the grill and the hood. They've got a jack under there trying to jack up the nose of the car.
Okay, now let's go back and jump inside Rusty's car again.
Well, what? You couldn't see anything.
Well, we will this time.
Wrong left. Changed gears, put her up in third, and took off.
Yep. That just goes, I got a bad eye. These guys are trying to trick me, showing me that there's nothing there and want me to call it. Dirty guys. Uh-oh. What's it? Hey, get out of there. You can't ride around.
There's Steve Grissom, and he has a passenger in that car.
Is he getting relief? Is that... Colonel, what's going on back there?
Ready now.
Well, I talked to Bill Davis. Bill Davis tells me that there's no real damage to the car, just got hit in the rear end, but they changed 4 tires the last time in. Ward went back out, radioed in, and said, hey, we've got a bad vibration. I'm going to come back in. I need 4 more tires. So that's what they're doing right now. This is the second time today that after they changed his end of tires, he's gone back out and had a vibration. But last time he had to run about 15 laps before there was the caution change. This time it needs to change under the same caution, so a good break for them.
Well, I'm sorry, go ahead. I just got to say something. The 22 car, when they go back and view the tape of this race, remember one time we had the 22 car with the 3, and we timed his pit stop along with, say, Earnhardt's and Jeff Gordon's, when we had the 3 triple split, and they had a 22-second stop. This morning they told me they was going to, how well they were going to do and what have you. I said, okay, I want to see a 16, 17-second pit stop. So Catfish, it said 22 seconds. You guys gotta get better.
Ward has managed to keep that car in the lead lap all day and is currently being shown in 10th position. 289 out of 367 complete. The 2 abreast formation for the restart of the Southern 500, the Mountain Dew Southern 500 from Darlington. The sellout crowd is still anticipating who might win this thing. Here's the green, and we'll settle it in about 67 laps.
And can Gordon get the position on Trickle? He does.
There are 77 laps to go, which means that there will be at least 1 more pit stop before this thing is over.
Yes, they will not go the rest of the way as far as fuel is concerned.
Never see Earnhardt has been able to get by leg speed in the Span car. Labonte took a look down coming off turn 2, could not make it in the Interstate Batteries car. Now Earnhardt still has the 37 car in the lead lap. He also has to get by that car of Bobby Hillen.
Dick Trickle still working hard on Gordon up there, back in the lead lap.
John Kernan can update us on Rusty Wallace, who's running 7th.
That caution flag was a big break for Rusty Wallace and his crew. Oh, and there's a crash as Trickle slams into turn 4. Everybody scatters. It looks like everybody's going to come through, but Trickle, a lot of damage to the rear end of his car. Caution is out on the speedway, but let me get back to Rusty real quick. That last set of tires, they weren't a good set, a good match set for Rusty. The car was running terribly, so they were lucky to have this caution period before this to change tires.
Dick Trickle brings out another caution here at Darlington. He was running 13th when the accident occurred, trying to get back.
And Bobby Hillen is trying to race, and he will beat Gordon back to the line.
That puts the 13th car then on the lead lap.
Bobby Hillen has been strong all day.
Sure has.
We talked about earlier, he'd hung up there with Earnhardt for a long, long time. Maybe for 150 miles or so, but he couldn't quite get by Earnhardt to get back in the lead lap, but he's done it now.
Now, the only question is, did he take the caution flag? NASCAR will have to rule on that. The lap preceding is what I meant. Evidently not, or the pace car would be out.
Here's a replay.
There's Trickle. He gets the car just a little bit too high. He loses the back end, and bam!
Boy, the field bearing down on him. They all cut to the inside. Then he slips down in between a few of them. Then they go to the outside. He gets down there out of the way.
Here's Jerry with more on Dick Trickle.
Unfortunately, Dick Trickle just radioed in and told Bud Moore, I think I may have cut a tire coming through 3. I felt it going down, but didn't have time to get it woed, and apparently it cost him dearly, Bob.
And it looks like they're going to hold Bobby Hillen.
Yeah,
he's not going to get his lap back.
Evidently, he took the caution flag the lap preceding and was not able to race back to the line.
Bill Weber has medical updates.
Yeah, it was just over at the McDonald's rig, and Bill Elliott's up front in the lounge area. He's very sore. Some of his crewmen were telling me he probably won't be coming out for a while, but other than that, he's okay and very disappointed. But he is all right and relaxing in the front of his rig.
All right, thank you, Bill. 295 laps are completed here. 72 to go. We're nearing that time when they can maybe come in and make it the rest of the way on fuel.
Yeah, somebody just might gamble here at the end of this deal. We'll have to see.
Jerry? More on that?
I just talked to Ray Evernham here in the Gordon pit, and they've got a little bit of a quandary. By calculations, and Charlie Seeger's down here doing some calculating, if they were to stop now, they could make it the rest of the way on fuel, but the question is, do they want to stop and give up track position? Well, apparently they just made that decision because here they come down pit road. Jeff said, I don't want to stop and get back there and all that track, but I guess they're going to come in. Let's check in up in the Rusty Wallace pit with John Kernan.
Jerry, as soon as everyone else decided to do it, Rusty Wallace and Screw sprang into action. It's just a gas and go. Lake Speed's taking on tires gas, and it looks like Ward Burton is taking on gas only. Back to Jerry.
They are going to change all 4 tires here in the Jeff Gordon pit. Right side tires going on, and Earnhardt is already out down farther on pit road, but Gordon will go ahead and take the time. So this will probably be their last pit stop unless there's another car pit line. You see Earnhardt's car had already exited pit road. Here is Gordon down and away.
Jeff Gordon was not intending to come into pits. He actually rode by the entrance to pit road. When he looked in his mirror, or his spotter told him, and Sterling Marlin trying to get in his pits, told him that, look, Jeff, all the rest of the leaders are pitting. He dove on pit road behind Earnhardt and the 37 car of Andretti. He, in fact, was the leader of the race and was about 4th on pit road.
Well, let's take a look at Jeff.
He's
is
4th.
4th in the line, yep.
And he was the leader of the race.
So it was a last-minute decision for Jeff Gordon as he saw everybody else dive off, then he decided to. So, setting up for another restart here at Darlington. Stay with us. They're getting the signal, 1 more lap to go. We go back to green. The lights on top of the pace car are extinguished. Looks like that Ricky Rudd will be up front when they begin once again, and Dale Earnhardt second.
It hadn't been long ago that Ricky Rudd was fighting to get his lap back, and here he is leading.
Yeah, that's right.
Boy, Ned, this looks like the Darlington races of old, doesn't it?
It does.
I mean, this really resembles Darlington of 20 years ago. All the cars running around here, beaten, banged up, fenders missing. I mean, there are just no cars out there without some type of damage. I mean, the wreck cars are running fast. They are. It's amazing how much this resembles Darlington of 20 years ago.
We've had 10 leaders and 17 lead changes so far, with Dale Earnhardt already clinching the most laps led award. John Andretti, Ricky Rudd, Jeff Gordon, Todd and Jeff Bodine, Sterling Marlin, Michael Waltrip, Ward Burton, and Bill Elliott have all led a lap. Now there are still 12 cars on the lead lap.
Yeah, it's amazing. We keep adding a few back every once in a while. Can you believe Fireball Roberts won this Southern 500 back in 1963 and they didn't have a caution?
Not a caution
I'm
flag?
pretty sure that's the case. Didn't have a caution.
I can't believe somebody winning this race by as many laps as you wanted.
It was one of those days like this. Everybody wrecked and had trouble.
Oh,
look
Rusty! What was the problem there?
I think he thought somebody was going to go or somebody tapped him from behind. Anyway, somebody thought somebody else was going to go and they didn't. We might not be through wrecking yet.
Certainly had some kind of a problem on the restart. I don't know what happened, but he swerved all over the place. Now here they are, running nose to tail.
Why did this not surprise me?
Yeah.
Something smoking. Rusty looks like a fender is hitting the tire when he come off the corner and hit that bump. Looks like a tire come up and brush the quarter panel or left front fender.
Earnhardt is second. Rusty is third.
Wow!
Wow, he is all over the racetrack.
And there's Ward Burton, the 22 car, still in the lead lap in 4th place.
Remember Earnhardt and Wallace last week at Bristol. They're running together on the racetrack again. Lots of traffic up ahead.
The car of Ted Musgrave is 1 lap down. He's being shown in 13th position. Then Bobby Hillin in the U.S. Air car is in 14th position. He, of course, is a lap down, too. So those guys are racing for position as black cars. In fact, they're 3 black cars there.
Earnhardt trying his best to get alongside Hillin. Can't quite make it. That seems to be his favorite place to pass here, Ned, going in the 3rd corner, tugging under these cars.
Ward Burton is caught right after Rusty Wallace. That's 2nd, 3rd, and 4th right there with Ricky Rudd leading.
Jeff Gordon is back in 5th place. There's a distance behind these cars.
Here goes Earnhardt.
Yeah, maybe.
No, didn't quite make it.
I thought Hillen had moved up the racetrack enough that Dale would take advantage, but didn't or couldn't.
Tires have to wear down before they can make those moves the way that we've seen a lot of them make today.
And we see that Earnhardt already is able to put just a car length or so on Rusty Wallace. So Rusty's not able to mount the charge here in the Southern 500.
Stop down there before this thing's over.
Bob just did a survey down here, and both Earnhardt and Gordon, who pitted on lap 297, can make it the final 70 laps on fuel. Now, I checked with Billy Engel a moment ago. They did not come back in. They came in and topped off on the previous caution flag when they got their lap back. They would have to go 78 laps, but Billy said, according to our calculations, we can make it. So those three cars, the 10, 3, and 24, hope to go all the way. Let's go to John Curtin.
Jared, for the 22-car Ward Burton, they are extremely close. They don't even want to say how close they are. But Rusty Wallace, they are going to be about a lap short if their calculations are correct. Robin Pemberton said they needed the restart to happen on lap 300 in order to make it the rest of the way. Well, they restarted on lap 299. As for Bonnie, no surprise here. Jimmy Makar says, yep, we're good to go. No problem with fuel mileage.
So 18 crews have stated definitely that they can go the distance. We'll see what happens. Here is Bobby Labonte coming up for 6th place on Strickland.
Well, he ran 55 laps at Michigan, 110 miles. Rusty Wallace is closed up on the back bumper of Earnhardt. What's the deal here?
Oh, you know the fans got to be loving this.
Oh, man, don't you know they are?
Anticipating.
And I love it.
Yeah. Oh, it's great. Sterling Harlan is not up to full speed. Apparently knocked the front end out of line or something on his Kodak Chevrolet. He's still out there on the lead lap.
Jeff Gordon, meanwhile, is up alongside or almost alongside Ward Burton.
A while ago when I said those three cars running together, but Jeff Gordon was up in 5th place pretty far behind them. Boy, he closed in a hurry.
The interval was divided in half from 2.8 seconds on lap 301 to 1.4 on 305. And here comes Gordon down the inside of Burton.
Well, that's not the place to pass, but he made it work. He takes over the 4th spot.
He has an awfully good race car.
He does. Ward trying his best now to protect that distance from Hut Strickland in the Quaker State car.
4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th lined up nose to tail.
And Earnhardt is loose, and Rusty Wallace is going by.
And the fans are loving it.
Good eye, Benny, good eye.
And here comes Earnhardt back. No.
Listen to the crowd. Rusty has taken 2nd place, and Rusty waved to Dale as he went by.
His car, Kyle Petty back out there looking around. Elton Sargent.
Wonder what happened to Earnhardt. He came off the 2nd corner, and the car seemed to get loose, and Rusty Wallace just shot by. Look at Jeff Gordon. He's closing up on the back of Earnhardt.
Yeah, Rusty's pulling away from Dale, and Gordon's closing in on Earnhardt.
And Ricky Rudd, meanwhile, the Tide Ford is still the leader. There's Ricky Rudd. Let's watch a replay, and I don't know if we go back far enough. This is coming off the 2nd corner, and watch as Earnhardt comes off the corner. It looks like he got the car loose, and Rusty just shot by him.
Yeah, back in when it out. Probably had to lift just a bit.
And now Jeff Gordon is passing Dale Earnhardt to take over another position. You can see that Dale could not go to the inside of Rusty, and there now is Gordon, who has moved to 3rd, Jerry.
We saw that move a moment ago by Rusty Wallace, and after Rusty made the pass on Earnhardt, his crew chief, Robin Pemberton, got on the radio and began to scream and said, hey, Rusty, hey, man, long way to go. Gotta save those tires. Back off, big guy, gotta save them. No one expected to pit now unless we get a caution flag from here until the checkered flag.
Now Hillen just moved over and let Rusty go. I wonder what that, if something's wrong with his car or what.
I think it was a courtesy move that he moved over, and Robbie, of course, is a lap down.
You saw Robin Pemberton there. Rusty Wallace's crew chief guiding him through his. Here he comes to the inside of Musgrave, and now he has just a few car lengths separating himself from the leader of the race, Ricky Rudd. Back with more from Darlington, South Carolina. It's Race Day America on ESPN and ESPN2, and we're live at the Mountain Dew Southern 500 at Darlington, South Carolina, getting down to the final laps, and Rusty Wallace has gone to the lead. Jeff Gordon is second. It has been a race in which the fans here have just not had an opportunity to sit down, and I think the best is yet to come.
It looks that way. Here's the pass for the lead just a moment ago, coming off the second corner. Rusty Wallace. Ricky Rudd is leading the race. Wallace gets on the inside and blows by. And Rudd has to back up enough that Jeff Gordon is able to keep his momentum going and take over that second spot.
Then a lap or so later, Dale Earnhardt got by Ricky Rudd, so now Earnhardt has moved up to third.
And here's a position being changed. It's Hut Strickland going to the inside of Bobby Labonte, and Hut goes to sixth.
Right now, the 22 car, Ward Burton, is the fifth place car.
12 cars on the lead lap. And just 49 more laps to go.
The 16 and the Jeremy Mayfield, yes. Those cars are laps down. 16 car is just one lap down.
And the 98 is 39 laps down in 32nd position. Here's a Napa field summary. Rusty Wallace up into the lead from 21st starting position. Michael Waltrip from 25th to 8th, and Morgan Shepherd from 30th to 9th. John Andretti, our pole sitter, running back in 12th position, the last car on the lead lap.
Well, Rusty caused some traffic at a wrong spot. Now Gordon right up on the back bumper of this Ford.
They go around Joe Nemechek. Once again, we remind you that the Manufacturers Championship can't be decided here today if Chevy finishes ahead of Ford, and right now Wallace's Ford is ahead of Gordon Chevy.
Rusty's car today has been faltering after a few laps, after 20 or 30 laps, slowing down. We'll see if Robin and the crew is adjusted, if the car is now going to run for 60, 70 laps like it has to stay in front of the 24 car.
Rusty Wallace has only won once this year on the Winston Cup Trail. He won at Martinsville. Jeff Gordon, of course, with 5 victories, more than any other driver at Rockingham, Atlanta, Bristol, Daytona, and New Hampshire. Rusty's only led 5 laps. Jeff has led 16. As low as 16th at one point. Has come back to second. There's Earnhardt, not too far behind.
I believe he's just sort of playing cool right now.
He just might be. Well, it looks like he might be gaining on these guys, or at least maintaining.
But he's already led the most laps, so he don't have to worry about that. He can sit there and ride as well if he wants to. How about it, Jerry?
Well, Earnhardt may be saving his tires, but he really is running about as hard as he can right now, according to Richard Childress. Apparently, when Rusty went by Earnhardt a moment ago, Dale said the car had gotten very loose, and now it is getting even looser. They have a bit of a toe-out problem with the right front tire from previous contact early in the race, which they did not fix. Now they think that problem may be causing the car to get real loose coming off the corner. So they're praying maybe they'll get a yellow flag and put some more tires and make an adjustment. But right now, they can't handle either one of the cars up front.
Okay, thanks for that information, getting us squared away up here on our speculation.
Neither of these drivers has ever won a race here at Darlington.
Did he close up on the back bumper? Or?
I think he closed up quicker than he expected to.
Hackett may have given Jeff a run here toward the lead. Gordon goes for the lead in turn 3.
Let's see if he slides up. No, he didn't slide up not enough for Rusty to go back under him.
Jeff Gordon has the lead. Southern 500. Ward Burton is gaining on Earnhardt. A crash.
Backstretch crash as Joe Nemechek in trouble. Sliding across the racetrack. Everybody else avoids.
Caution is out.
Well, this will take the gas mileage suspense away.
Yep, sure will. There is Jeff Gordon.
Now then, Earnhardt, he might be able to come in, adjust his car, and if it is loose, tighten it up. This might be a break for Dale Earnhardt.
And for Rusty, John Kernan said, he was going to be very short on fuel, so won't be any problem now. Joe Nemechek was running in the 26th position. He was about 23 laps down already in the Burger King Chevrolet.
It's our 11th caution of the afternoon. It comes on lap 327.
Looks like he's another one of those guys that needs a Dixie straw to put gas in with. Let's see if we can see what happened with our camera. Looks like he might have got a little bit of a tap. I don't know.
Little help from somebody. Brett Bodine, looks like.
Brett
Hard
was
to
behind
say.
him. Yeah, it's hard to say if he made contact or not, but Brett was the car behind him.
Yeah, I'd hate to put blame on somebody from that shot, that's for sure. And here we're going in the pits, and here's John Kernan.
Well, Rusty Wallace is pitted down here near the entrance of pit road, and he will be among the first to come into his stall as we have a triples pit stop. The 24, 2, and 3, Gordon, Rusty Wallace, and Dale Earnhardt. It'll be a 4-tire change for Rusty Wallace and fuel. Rusty has told them to make no chassis adjustments. Already the right side's finished. They're coming around to the left side. Let's go down to Jerry Punch.
Here's what Dale Earnhardt said. He said, guys, I want 4 tires. Give me 4 good ones. As Wallace is out, Jeff Gordon also getting his pit service. Earnhardt said, I want 4 tires, guys. 26 cars down. Let's put Strickler down. Earnhardt left side tires. He is down and away, and Gordon will beat him, and Wallace and Earnhardt go shuffling toward turn 1. They finished what Earnhardt said. He said, guys, I want 4 tires. Give me 4 good ones. Clean the windshield and clean it well. Check the left front fender, and don't touch anything else.
And here is the guy that is leading the race.
Hut Strickland.
Wow.
How about that? Well, we're counting down the laps. We're at 327 complete now. The Southern 500 still on the line. Well, coming up next, after our Race Day America coverage of the Mountain Dew Southern 500, we will be going directly to Paul Page and the gang at Vancouver for the IndyCar race out there, where Jacques Villeneuve could win his first race in his home country of Canada and wrap up the championship. He currently has a 54-point lead over Bobby Rahal. That's right after the conclusion of our race here at Darlington.
And he's doing all that from the pole, right?
That is correct. And of course, he's leaving the IndyCar series at the end of this season to go Formula One racing next year.
Regardless of whether he wins the championship or not.
Yep. He's already signed with Williams next year.
Richard. Man,
boy, these fans are loving it, and there just couldn't be more perfect weather for this racer today. It's not overly hot, nice, cool breeze, and man, it's just great.
And it isn't humid.
Yeah, that's
unlike
right.
Darlington in Labor Day, it's not humid around here.
Cold front moved through on Friday night, I guess, and dried things up, cooled it off, and it was just perfect yesterday for the Busch race, and we've had similar weather conditions here today. Here's an field summary before we get back to green. 12 cars on the lead lap. John Andretti is up front, not Hut Strickland, as we said earlier. John didn't pit then, right?
He did not pit.
And Strickland did.
And he changed 2 times.
Yeah, okay.
Now, Gordon, Earnhardt, Wallace, they changed 4 times.
Right.
And that'll probably make a difference. It's about, 37 laps to go?
Yep. Well, it's still anybody's race. I wouldn't want to bet on Gordon, Rusty, Dale. Who knows? It could be Ricky Rudd or whatever.
Now, we've pointed out that Rusty seemed to have had some problems on restarts a couple of times. Let's see how he does this time. There he is right behind Earnhardt.
He's put a little distance between himself and Earnhardt, trying to get a run to take away some of that disadvantage. It looked like it worked.
Yeah, had a good start there. Ready beats the 10 minutes first turn. That's great. 13th, 1 lap down.
Jeff Gordon way up high.
Who's that squeezing in front of Earnhardt? No, that's the 12 car of Barry Cope.
Yep.
By the way, Jeff Bodine is back in the race. There's Earnhardt passing by Ted Musgrave on the high side, and here comes Rusty. But up front, Hut Strickland is about to go to the lead, and he does. Jeff Gordon goes to second. John Andretti back to third. This is the first time this afternoon that Hut has led a lap.
He hasn't led a lap yet.
Well, that's true. He's got the lead, but he may not by the time he gets to the starting line.
Let's see, is Gordon going to get under him? Yes, he is. And Hutt still hasn't led a lap.
Nope. He indeed is not.
And Earnhardt goes by Andretti for his third place.
Well, where's Rusty? There he comes. Out of that massive traffic.
Jerry has more on Dale Earnhardt.
Guys, the good news is that this is vintage Earnhardt. Less than 40 laps to go at Darlington, a slick racetrack. You can tell when he gets on a mission, he begins to move up on the steering wheel. He reaches up and grabs two big handfuls of steering wheel, and it's like Busch Clash all over again. Watch him. They said this is going to be something to see.
Closing in on Hut Strickland for second place, and there's a big gaggle of cars behind there. Here comes Rudd and Ward Burton to the inside of John Andretti, and now Bobby Labonte and Lake Speed will try to get by.
All those cars in the lead lap. It's an awkward position. And Michael's on the inside of Speed. Looks like he's going to take that spot away. And here goes Earnhardt by Hut Strickland now. It's 24 in front, Earnhardt in second.
Second position for Dale Earnhardt, and now he sets his sights on Jeff Gordon for the lead. 32 laps to go.
Ray Evernham better give him a nice cool drink of water and moisten his mouth, because he's going to have to do a lot of cheerleading between now and into this race.
But Gordon has himself a fair lead, 1.4 seconds.
There's the on-track interval between first and second, and here comes Rusty to third to the inside of Hut. So now it's Gordon, Earnhardt, and Wallace, 1, 2, 3. And there's a 1.3 second interval between first and second.
Now, after 10 laps, we'll see what the interval is.
Coming up on 30 laps to go in the Mountain Dew Southern 500 IndyCar racing coming up at the conclusion of this Race Day America.
Earnhardt slipped a little bit off coming off turn 4.
Well, the interval is closed between him and Rusty. There's Rudd, who is fifth.
Gary Cope 4 laps down in the main and tail car. There he is. He will move over.
Let Ward Burton go by.
Jeff Gordon pulling away from Earnhardt.
Is he?
By a little bit, yep.
Ward Burton closing on the back of Ricky Rudd. That will be for fifth place. Let's go back to the lead and see what's happening. Battle for second place. Rusty Wallace has called Earnhardt. He's got to run.
Once again, the two are running together on the racetrack, this time at a much higher speed than last Saturday night at Bristol. And Earnhardt is holding up Wallace as the crowd is going bananas. Oh, look out, he bumped him.
And the fans do love it. Makes for fun television, too.
Earnhardt goes up the hill. Here comes Rusty.
Rusty's got to run off the corner. Down the back stretch they go. He's side by side. Now he pulls ahead, and Rusty Wallace is second.
Now, can Earnhardt make that famous move? Yeah, they
He's
are.
gonna try it.
Back around him. Oh, man, look at him.
Oh!
Rusty, you got to slow that thing down when you take her into that corner ahead of him. But it's hard to do because he had to run so fast to get on by him getting into the corner. Earnhardt knew he was going to drift up. Here he comes again.
He may do the same thing this time. Indeed, off the corner, side by side with Earnhardt.
All right, let's see if he can do it again.
He takes the position into the corner. Now
Rusty slowed down that time. Yeah, he slowed down that time. Made Earnhardt jam the brakes on him. Said you don't pull that trick on me 2 laps in a row.
While all this is happening, Jeff Gordon continues to lead.
Now they're running across some slow cars, and Earnhardt extremely high. Did he touch the wall?
Looks like it. Yep. According to our chief spotter, Kevin Clark, he touched the wall.
I know he was awfully close to it. I don't see smoke coming from fenders on tires. And Earnhardt isn't running like he did.
You know, there's a lot of cars right behind him. Gordon has pulled away by about 4 seconds while all that was going on. He was already stretching the lead, but there's a lot of cars right behind these two. Bobby Hillin is a lap car in between them, but there's a number of cars there. Ricky Rudd, George Burton, and Hut Strickland, several others that are trying to get up there.
Did he touch the wall? He got up awful high.
No, he did
nope,
not.
He did not. No.
But he missed that thing to 3 feet.
He really did.
But I tell you one thing, he's giving Rusty Wallace all he needs right now. They're second. Rusty Wallace. Third is Earnhardt. The green car, Hut Strickland, is the 4th place car.
Then Rudd, Burton, Ward, Bobby Labonte, Michael Walton, Blake Speed, John Andretti, Sterling Marlin, and Morgan Shepherd are the cars on the lead lap.
Here's where Earnhardt was able to outrun Rusty Wallace at the pier. That time he could not duck under it.
Apparently some complaints that the 4 cars leaking some fluid out there, water probably. That's Marlin who's running 11. Here's the interval leaderboard, 4.2 seconds between first and second. You can see how close Wallace and Earnhardt are. Then Strickland back 5.1 and Rudd 5.3 back of Jeff Gordon. There's how much of a lead Jeff Gordon has. 345 laps completed, 22 to go.
Man. I'll tell you what.
Here's Marlin. We can see if he's losing something over there on the right side.
There is some water coming out the overflow on the Kodak Film Chevrolet. Earnhardt took a look.
Almost mounted a challenge. Again, Earnhardt comes right up on Rusty's back bumper. We're watching from the roof cam of Dale Earnhardt.
Kenny Schrader still out there. Man, he got to be bored by now.
I'm telling you.
But he's moved up to 24th place. He's 18 laps down, but
if he had dropped out of the race when he crashed, he would probably be back in 42nd. As it is, he stays out there all day, and now is 24th. And there's a lot of points between 24th and 42nd.
Yes. Kyle Petty has been getting a red flag for the last 3 or 4 laps, and we understand that they've picked up his scorecard now. I don't know what the problem is. Kyle, of course, is one of those that was involved in a wreck earlier, has a lot of damage to his Coors Light Pontiac.
He was 23rd, 17 laps down when the black flag came out. Less than 20 laps to go now. Can Dale Earnhardt and Rusty Wallace catch Jeff Gordon? We'll be right back. We've gone caution again here at Darlington probably because of some smoke coming from Ted Musgrave's car. May have blown an engine, something. Anyway, we brought out the 12th caution of the race with less than 20 laps to go.
Now then, what happens, Ned? Do they pit? Don't they pit?
Well, that's a good question.
Right now, we've got 12 cars on the lead lap.
Some of them won't.
Some of them, that's right, exactly. Some of them will not.
Now, certainly those back towards the back don't have a great deal to lose by pitting. Sterling Marlin, who's being shown as the last car on the lead lap, had just committed himself to come into the pits. He went flying on down pit road when they apparently told him, hey, the caution is out. Go on, don't stop now. So that was a break for him.
There's Ted Musgrave trying to find the garage entrance.
What's Jeff going to do? He stayed out.
He faked to the inside and stayed out.
I guess he faked to see if Earnhardt was going to follow him. When Earnhardt didn't, he said, I can't go.
Yep.
So they all stayed out, Ned.
Nobody's going to come in. Take a look at this. This is Gordon in turn 4, dropping down off the banking, acting like he's going to the pits. Nah.
Doesn't do it. I believe if I had tires left and I was anybody from about 6th or 7th on back, I believe I would have had to make a pit stop. John Andretti is coming down pit road.
We'll take another break. We'll be back with the conclusion of the Southern 500. Stay with us. It's still anybody's race at Darlington, South Carolina. Right after the conclusion of our Mountain Dew Southern 500, we switch live to Vancouver, British Columbia for the IndyCar race. And don't forget there's simultaneous coverage on The Deuce, ESPN2, and the premiere of RPM tonight at 8 o'clock Eastern Time on ESPN2. Here's Benny.
Rusty Wallace in car just a moment ago. He pulls up beside of Earnhardt. Looks over. Says, man, we racing great today.
Still under caution here at Darlington because of Ted Musgrave's problem.
And some cars in the lead lap behind have made a pit stop, Ned.
Yeah, Lake Speed came in the next lap after I said I believe if I was that far back I would have come in. He did come in. Morgan Shepherd and Michael Waltrip went in on the backstretch.
Now here comes 5th and 7th, Ned.
Yeah. The Ricky Rudd and Bobby Labonte coming in.
Riding with Rudd as he finds his pit stall. There's a tremendous amount of glare.
Yeah.
Sun pretty low in the western sky, which is down in turn number 1.
Doesn't seem to be helping by cleaning the windshield any.
Nope.
I still think this is smart for these guys to come in, but it would have been smarter if they would have come in the first time they could have, because they're still going to be behind several cars that made pit stops on the previous lap.
That's Michael Waltrip was in the lead lap. Has been in and changed 4 tires. So has the 9 car of Lake Speed, the Spam car. Sterling Marlin is in. As we said, he was the last car on the lead lap. And
for those of you tuning in for IndyCar racing, stay with us because it won't be very long before we switch you out to Vancouver for the next to the last race of the IndyCar season.
And by the way, all the in-car radio communication you've been hearing today, that's courtesy of Racing Electronics. Thanks, guys. We really appreciate it. Adds so much to our telecast.
Let's see if they get the 1 to go signal when they come down this time.
I would think they would because the cleanup truck is backing in behind the wall in turn 1. So, nope, they didn't.
Lights stay on top of the pace car, and no indication from Doyle Ford that they will be going green next time. So it'll be less than 10 laps when we do get the green.
Well, by doing that, when they give the signal the next time by, the cars will have to line up single file rather than side by side. So that might be a consideration for running one more lap. And if that was, I applaud that.
Here's the Napa Field summary as we near the conclusion of this 46th annual Mountain Dew Southern 500 from Darlington.
Bobby Hillen got a lap down early on and has run 1 lap down the rest of the way. As a matter of fact, he ran for what? They had 150, 175 miles there one time on the green flag and stayed within 2 seconds of Earnhardt.
He sure did, and right now he's the only car that's 1 lap down. Let's go to the pits and Jerry Punch.
Wild battle between Earnhardt and Wallace last few laps there, Andy. But does Dale have anything left for Gordon?
I don't know. You know, Rusty wore us down pretty good, and 24 have been good the second half of the race. I don't know. Maybe we lost a little bit, but 10 to go. We're going to see the best he's got.
Still a little bit loose?
Yeah, we were a little bit loose. I think he's okay now. We tightened it up on that last stop, so hopefully we'll have something. I don't know.
That's Andy Petrie. Let's go to Bill Weber, who's standing behind the Rusty Wallace pit.
How about it, Robin? You're third right now. Can you catch the leaders and get around the 3 on the way?
24, they're all strong up there right now. It depends on how much it takes us to get around the 3. The 3 have been doing some pretty nice things on the restart, so we're going to be real cautious on this deal. We got the car so it runs real good on short runs now, not like it was the first couple 100 miles, so anything's liable to happen. Single file restart is to our advantage right now, or to the advantage of the leaders. So
looks like your driver's having fun out there racing with the 3 this week.
Oh, that's always fun.
Well, he says it's fun, and we'll see how much fun they have here. 3:57 on the board, guys.
Done some nice things on restarts. What does that mean?
I don't know. He's pulled away from him a little bit.
Guess it was that nice.
Not very nice for him.
You know, some things they can do is act like they're going to take off and then jam their brakes on and then take off and let that car behind them jam his brakes on. By the time he realizes what's happened, though the other car's gone. You know, there's lots of things that they can do, but Earnhardt wouldn't do those kind of things.
They are in single file formation, no double wide, because we are within 10 laps of the finish. The crowd is still wondering who's going to win this thing. They cheer the restart on lap 359.
Michael Waltrip, the first car, the yellow Penske car, first car that has fresh tires. Here he comes on the inside of Hut Strickland.
Trying to take over fifth position. Michael Waltrip at the end of the backstretch takes there. Michael Waltrip goes to fifth. A good run for Michael here this afternoon.
Those fresh tires are going to help him.
Raise your hand up.
Well, okay. The spotter thinks he's got a chance.
Here's Rudd to the inside of Morgan Shepherd and Lake Speed, and Shepherd touch, and Speed saves it.
And Lake Speed and Morgan both say that a great job by both those drivers not to crash. But they did lose many positions.
Yes, they did. Bobby Labonte and Sterling Marlin able to get by.
And those were some drivers who Morgan and Lake had made pit stops for fresh tires.
7 laps to go.
Right now, Jeff Gordon has about a 15-20 car length advantage on Dale Earnhardt.
And Michael Waltrip has caught the 22 car of Ward Burton. As we watch this action back here as Bobby Labonte goes by John Andretti.
That puts Andretti back to 9th and moves Bobby up to 8th.
Here we go. There's our leaders. There's Jeff Gordon. And we'll see that Earnhardt is not. There's Earnhardt and Rusty Wallace. We'll see that Michael Waltrip has caught Ward Burton.
Yeah, he's just all over him coming off of turn 2.
We got 2 Pontiacs in the top 5 here.
5 to go, says Doug Petrucci for the 30 car.
2 Pontiacs in the top 5, 2 Chevys, and Rusty Wallace's Ford.
There's the leader. Laps are winding down, and there's Earnhardt and Wallace.
Still running together on the racetrack. And Rusty has the challenge mounted. Went out of 2 down the backstretch.
Man, that is so close.
Earnhardt hangs on to runner-up spot.
Rusty trying to back up right now to get him a run down the front straightaway. He's trying, but Earnhardt comes down to block that. He's hoping he'll run Earnhardt in the corner a little too hard. Where is the corner?
Boy, look at the glare that these guys get.
Well, there's the backstretch. Man, you just can't see the front number 1 corner.
Nope, all the way through 1 and 2, you're blinded by the light.
Michael Waltrip still hasn't been able to do anything with Ward Burton. As a matter of fact, Ward's pulled away by about 3 or 4 car lengths now.
We can see that Jeff Gordon's still up there. Let's show this glare one more time.
Boy, you can't see anything going in there. No wonder we've had wrecks down there.
They need to build grandstands down in turn 1 and 2 all the way around that grandstand to block the sun. 3 laps to go.
Just a little over 2, as a matter of fact, as Jeff approaches turn number 3 and number 4.
Comes up on Jimmy Spencer. Spencer moves out of the way.
Now Earnhardt, is he closing up? He's closing up on the back of Jeff Gordon.
Well, I think Jeff had to maybe slow a little bit when he came up on Spencer there to not get himself in any kind of position.
2 laps to go. Jeff Gordon, Dale Earnhardt, and Rusty Wallace are at it tooth and nail for the honor of being the champion of the 46th Southern 500.
And there's slow cars up there. It depends on how Jeff Gordon catches those cars. There's Rick Mast.
Here's a change for position. Ricky Rudd goes to 6th. The white flag is being shown. 1 more lap to go. Who is going to win it at Darlington?
And Rick Mast moves over and lets Jeff Gordon go by. Sorry, Bob.
I was going to say Jeff Gordon has Terry Labonte way up ahead of him. They come into turn number 3.
But you know Terry Labonte will get out of his way if he comes into play because he's a teammate.
Jeff Gordon looking good here in turn 4. The battle is for second place between Earnhardt and Wallace. Gordon wins. Earnhardt finishes second. Rusty is third. Chevrolet clinches the Manufacturers Championship. Jeff wins his 6th of the year, his 8th of his career, his 7th Super Speedway win. He steps another inch toward that NASCAR Winston Cup championship.
No, this might have been a foot. This might have been a foot. This is a great, great victory for Jeff Gordon and the DuPont crew.
Sterling Marlin finished in 10th position. Unfortunately, we've gone way over. We're not going to be able to bring you a winner interview. However, we will tape an interview and look at the salute that Earnhardt and Rusty Wallace are showing each other as they come in after the race. We won't be able to bring you a live interview. We will tape it and drop it in the IndyCar race or on RPM tonight. Its premiere at 8 o'clock on ESPN2. Jeff Gordon is the winner of this race, and it was a great one to start off Race Day America, and there is a lot more to come here on ESPN. We're going to wait for the final results here before we switch out live to Vancouver and the IndyCar race.
And Jeff Gordon, what did he survive today? At least one spin out and almost another crash coming off turn 4.
He dodged at least 2 major bullets and moved up through the field and took home the winner's trophy of the Southern 500. Here are the unofficial results. 12 cars were on the lead lap. John Andretti, the pole sitter, sent back to 12th at the end of the race. There will be no bonus pay to any driver this year. There were 4 different winners in the crown jewel races on the NASCAR Winston Cup Series.
Robert Presley, the top finishing rookie here today.
So again, stay tuned. Later we'll have an interview with Jeff Gordon, but right now let's go to Vancouver and Paul Page with the Molson Indy IndyCar race.
We are in victory lane at Darlington, South Carolina, and Jeff Gordon has got win number 6 here in 1995. The first person to greet him coming out of the car, Governor David Beasley here of South Carolina, gives him a high five. And let me get over here and try to weed our way through by the governor. And Jeff, congratulations on an outstanding effort.
Oh, thank you, Jerry. This, I tell you, I'm about ready to come into tears here. This is a big win for us. Hey, man, Chevrolet Manufacturers Championship, yes. I tell you, this team was championship caliber today, that's for sure. You know, we had to come back from a lot of things. We had to fight. You know, I've never really been in a battle with Earnhardt and Rusty and them towards the end, and that was a great accomplishment for me and this team. But, you know, the car was not that good at the beginning of the race, and, man, they just kept working. We were a championship caliber team today, and I'm real proud of this DuPont Chevrolet and this whole group of Rainbow Warriors, man. I got to thank them. Got to thank Coca-Cola. Goodyear Tires had great tires today. Obviously, Valvoline, we couldn't have made it without them, so I want to thank everybody for supporting this Hendrick Motorsports team. This is awesome.
Jeff, you dodged bullets twice today. You cut right rear tires 2 times. He gets a big hug from Brooke Gordon, his wife. Twice today you had to come back from close calls when cutting right rear tires.
That's Darlington, man. We found out what it was like to survive this place, and you know, I told everybody, and everybody's been telling me, you know, if you can just survive, if you can be there, you can be in contention. And you know, I didn't believe it. I mean, we had to fight from so many things. I never thought once we got behind, even when we were running second or third, I said, man, we just don't have the car for them today, guys. But that just shows you, you know, the caliber of communication on this team, man. It's awesome. I tell you, Darlington victory in my record book is number 1, buddy. That's great.
45th Southern 500 is history, and Jeff Gordon has finally survived Darlington after all those troubles dating way back to 1993.
And he becomes the 27th different winner of the Mountain Dew Southern 500. The quest for the Cup standings. Jeff Gordon increases his lead to 217 over Sterling Marlin. Dale Earnhardt moves to 3rd, 294 behind. Then Mark Martin, 396, and Ted Musgrave is 474 behind. Don't forget NASCAR truck racing on the Deuce. This coming Thursday, our next NASCAR Winston Cup telecast will be from Martinsville, Virginia on September 24th. For Ned Jarrett, Benny Parsons, John Kernan, Jerry Punch, and Bill Weber, I'm Bob Jenkins. Thanks for joining us. So long, everyone.